This is a Miami Sports Music Podcast Network production.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Go ahead. Make my day.
Do you want to go to war, Malaki?
No.
Because we could go to war.
No.
I'm for real. So you better check yourself.
Shut up! You're killing me, Smalls.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Stephen D, and we are live this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday morning right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. What's going on, everybody? Hope y'all are enjoying today's morning. We got a big show lined up for you today. I am your host, Stephen D. You can follow me on all social media at Stephen D. SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. Super excited that y'all are hanging out with me. You can also follow Miami Sports Music at MIA Sports Music and at Miami Sports Music. Make sure you follow them as well. Hey, make sure on your way in, you guys hit that like button. Okay? Hit the like button. Doesn't cost anything. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you all do that. Also want to remind you guys too, hey, if you want to sign up and become a member today, there are plenty of seats waiting at the table for you. So make sure you do that as well. Sign up, become a member today. If you want to help donate to the channel and help the channel grow by donating, you can do that by using the YouTube Live Super Chat or using Cash App, which is $ MSM Podcast Network, or PayPal MSM Podcast Network. Want to remind you guys too to make sure you follow our wonderful, amazing sponsors of the show. Okay, ZSM Sports. Make sure you follow them. You can also follow them on social media. You see everything there. If you need balls, jerseys, cards, hard to find items, follow ZSM Sports. They specialize in sports memorabilia. Give a big shout out to Hangry Owls. Hangry Owls is absolutely amazing. Make sure you follow them at HANGRYALS. If you need some good subs, go to Pembroke Pines, 16606 Sheridan Street in Pembroke Pines. Shout out to Hangry Owls. They are absolutely amazing. We love it. Okay. Also, want to give a big shout out to our title sponsor of the show, TAILGATE. We got some really, really great stuff for you lined up this year with TAILGATE. I had a phone conversation with them yesterday. Trust me, you're going to like what we have lined up for you. So make sure you download the free app on your current Apple or Android device today. And follow TAILGATE at TAILGREETER. All right, we got Daniel Oyefusi on. We're just going to go ahead and get right into it because the boy is running a little behind this morning. That would be me. So I apologize for that. So let me bring on Mr. Daniel Oyefusi. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. I had a long day. I'm moving yesterday. Well, moving in 2 floors up in my apartment. So I haven't got a lot of sleep the last 2 days, but I'm good.
What's sleep? What is that? What is that you speak of, man? All right, man. So you're not in Tampa then?
Not yet. I'm headed up tomorrow morning. So before the practices start, I'll be going up there real quick.
Okay. All right. Well, look, a lot of stuff has went down in the last 24 to 48 hours. I think this is going to be a big show for both of us because just a lot of news is kind of broken. The depth chart, everything, trade rumors. Now, all of a sudden, there's stuff up in Chicago and they're linked to Miami. There's just a lot of stuff. So I guess we should start first at the depth chart, right? The depth chart came out yesterday. It was something, that I personally saw for me that was very interesting. What stood out for you on the depth chart yesterday as I bring it up here in a second?
Yeah, I think what stood out to me is that, every year we piece and dissect the depth chart, this guy over this guy, that guy too low, this guy surprise starter or whatever. And you realize that they really don't mean much at the end of the day. Last year, Jalen Phillips was, I think he was like a third string linebacker or a second string linebacker. and then he ends up having 8.5 sacks. I will say stuff that caught my eye was starting with, kind of the first team stuff. The fact that, Ingram was listed as a starter. I think that a lot of times you see the vets get a little bit of deference, and that's what we saw there. Because he'll rotate snaps with Jalen Phillips and Andrew Van Ginkel and to some extent Brendan Scarlett. So that was maybe interesting, but like not really a big surprise again, because vets get a lot of the deference here. The returners, which is something that we've talked about a lot. Having Mostert and Hill as like the top punt returner and kick returner respectively. Again, we've talked about that a lot. I'm not a fan of keeping Hill as a full-time returner. I was surprised. I mean, I can't really tell you everything that I see. I can't tell you everything that I see in terms of returners, I guess, but what the depth chart has matched what I've seen. I'll put it that way. So I was very, very surprised that they put Mostert as a starting kick returner, just given the injury history. I mean, he started his career as a kick returner. I mean, he's actually a very, very good kick returner, but just given his age and the injury concern, that was something that surprised me. And I'm curious whether Mike McDaniel is comfortable going into the season with those guys being such important parts of the offense, having them also be full-time kick returners. I guess the only other thing that really stood out to me was, Preston Williams being a second-team wide receiver. Just hours after the reports of the Dolphins having talks about him. In my opinion, I would not say that the reps that he's seen in training camp is commensurate with somebody or matches somebody who's second-team offense. I wouldn't say that. But again, I don't know if that's a trade thing. I don't know if that's like a veteran deference, because Ezukama is like the last receiver on the depth chart, and it's like we've been raving about him for the first 2 weeks. So again, I mean, I don't think that this really means much. We're 6 days away from, or 5 days away from, a real game where you can. I mean, some of these vets aren't going to be here, but you can see like this guy's ahead of this guy, this guy's ahead of that guy. I mean, whoever plays first, that's who is ahead on the depth chart right now. So we'll be able to see it, and this will be kind of null and void in 5 days when we start to see who's really out there with certain packages and certain first team, second team, third team. But there was some interesting stuff there nonetheless.
All right, just looking at the offensive side of the depth chart, and you kind of just alluded to it, and this is one of the things that I wanted to talk about in depth was, hey, look, if the news broke on Twitter, anyways, that from I believe it was Albert Breer, if I'm correct, stating that the Dolphins had 2 people on the trade block, and that was Preston Williams and Lynn Bowden.
And real quick. Remember before training camp started, I said I didn't want to say that this was necessarily linked to reporting, my personal reporting, but I'm saying with the depth remember I said with the depth at wide receiver, it would not surprise me if one or both of those guys, the Dolphins start to think, hey, maybe we trade them to add depth or draft picks here and there. So this shouldn't be a surprise at all.
No, it shouldn't. Look, I'm not saying it is, and you and I talked about it clearly when we were going and breaking down the wide receiver room, and that was before Mohamed Sanu ever even showed up, right? So yeah. I think Mohamed Sanu just makes it even more difficult, or it actually probably puts more into play what we had talked about 3 or 4 weeks ago on the show of what we see with that quarterback room and how it's going to work out. Now, there's also been a resurgence of one person up there too, and that's Braylon Sanders. He's somebody who has just looked out really, really well, and Ezukama on the depth chart all the way at the bottom. But look, here's what I want to say. Preston and Lynn Bowden, I think, are on this depth chart that high because I don't want to say it's because of the Breer tweet, but I don't know if the Dolphins wanted it out there that those 2 guys were on the trade block. So I find it very interesting that a couple hours later they released the depth chart and those 2 guys are at the top. And by the way, Ezukama and Braylon Sanders are at the bottom. Just want to throw that out there too.
I mean, my question, and I've seen most people mention this. My question is, what do the Dolphins gain by putting Preston as a second team wide receiver? Are they saying we want to get rid of him. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what that means. What is listing him as second team wide receiver on the depth chart? Actually, I would look at it the other way. I would look at it as if Preston Williams and Lynn Bowden were fourth string, and you have all these guys in front of them. If I think that would be telegraphing that you want to trade them, because a team looking at the depth chart is like, wow, Preston Williams and Lynn Bowden have talent, and they're listed as fourth string. We should see if maybe we can get something. I think it's almost the other way around. Like I don't know.
I disagree, because
I just don't know. Yeah,
so you want to get the most value that you can for them, right, Daniel? And so my opinion of it is, if you have them listed as fifth, sixth, in the depth or even lower, then you're not going to get as much value for them, and they'll be like, we'll just wait till you cut them, because there's going to be other wide receivers cut, right?
I mean, I've said this before. There are a lot of badly and dumb front offices, but there's not a lot. I mean, we've
had our fair share of working with Houston. I'm just saying.
These teams are reading my practice reports. They're reading the other practice reports that are saying Preston Williams and Lynn Bowden are not getting any reps. I mean, they're reading this stuff. They're not going into this blind. They know that they're not getting any reps, and they know that they're available now.
And that's all the more reason that I think and this is just a theory. Okay, I can't confirm this. I don't have
the funny thing is that the PR. I mean, I'm not saying the team doesn't have a role in this, but the PR staff essentially just like puts this together. Of course, I'm sure it kind of goes through some hoops, and people and some higher ups look at it. But for the most part, this is just like the PR staff just kind of compiling stuff.
What, the depth chart?
Yeah.
Time out. So you mean to tell me this depth chart has nothing to do with the coaching staff, that the PR staff puts this depth chart together?
I'm saying that like this early one, like they just kind of put it together based off of like, and again, there's a reason why Ezukama. I mean, again, that's why I say there's a reason why Ezukama is like fourth string. I mean, they just give the
they
difference.
They have him as last. Yeah, and from everything I have read, Ezukama's been one of the stars of training camp.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying. That's why a lot of times I say they just give the deference to the vets. Like Preston Williams is a vet.
So here's my thing of it. And I don't know this to be true, but what I will say is, it seems to me that somebody panicked within the organization the moment the Albert Breer tweet came out. Okay? And maybe that's the wrong phrase to use. Somebody panicked, right?
Yeah.
But it is weird that a couple hours later, this depth chart was released, and to see how high Preston Williams and Lynn Bowden were on it compared to what we have been obviously reading and seeing from you guys, the beat writers, the last, 10 days.
Yeah, again, I do think that a lot of times the vets get the deference, because in this, like I'm trying to look at what else is on here on the like I haven't really seen Sony. Like I'll use this for example. I haven't really seen Sony Michel. This might be a bad example because I think Sony Michel's going to make the team, but I haven't really seen him a ton in training camp. He's been kind of limited, but he's second team above guys like Dokes and White, who have gotten significantly more reps just because Michel's been limited.
But you and I both said that it was probably going to be Chase Edmonds,
which is why I said that might be
Sony Michel making this team. That's not, I don't think that's a good example. But to go back to the original point on the wide receivers, dude, right? Is it not very interesting that the Albert Breer thing came out hours before the depth chart was released? And if what you're telling me is correct, you're saying that a majority of the PR staff kind of puts this together, and then it does go through.
I'm not saying I know this. I'm just saying my guesses. I mean, the PR staff does put it together. I mean, they're the ones that put this entire booklet together with the depth chart. But I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I know this for sure, but my guess is that that's how it works. Again, I mean, we saw this last year with James Phillips being listed in like second, third.
And see, how I've always figured it is the coaching staff gives the PR team, hey, look, this is our first run at the depth chart. Here's what it looks like.
Because we know but that's the thing. A lot of that stuff is inaccurate. I even have questions.
I think they're out. I think they're personally outright lying to us, Daniel. That's what I think. I don't believe this depth chart. There's a lot of things on this depth chart I question. Wide receiver being one of them. And I think it's for the pure purposes of Chris Grier being able to call people and make trades. That's what I think.
I will say this. I don't think that, and I don't think that they put out the depth chart. I think the depth chart, I mean, it was part of an entire weekly release. They do the weekly release usually like 5 days or 6 days before the game that they play anyway. So I don't think that it was like, oh, this Bear report is out, let's put it out. I think I think the timing of that, those two are completely unrelated. But I will say that I do think that overall we're kind of making too much of it. Like I don't think that the Dolphins, instead
That's
of
what
getting,
we do, Daniel.
I know,
We
I
gotta
know, but
make
I
too
gotta
much
be
of the
honest.
depth
I
chart.
don't
There's
think the
nothing
Dolphins
else to talk about right now.
I mean, there's stuff to talk about, but I don't think the Dolphins are going to get like a 4th-round pick as opposed to like a 5th or 6th-round pick because they put Preston Williams and Lynn Bowden as the second-team wide receiver. Every team in the NFL knows that Lynn Bowden and Preston Williams have gotten literally like scant reps during training camp, and listing them as second-team wide receiver isn't gonna just boost their value significantly. Like I don't see that. I think that this is more so they're vets. We're gonna put them up there. We don't want to tip our hand. I think that it would have been more of a story because we all knew that they weren't getting reps. It would have been more of a story if they put Ezra Coleman as like a second-team wide receiver. And I do think that, I mean, the way things are trending, Ezra Coleman is going to be a piece of the offense, early on in the season. It would have been more of a story if Ezra Coleman was like second team and we're like, oh, wow, like, could this guy pitch for like significant snaps?
I think when we see the final depth chart before the season, I think we're gonna see
even then, I think we can see a situation where like Ezra Coleman's like third string or whatever.
I think that's where I think he'll end up, third string.
And then he'll still be getting a lot of reps potentially.
All right, let me ask you. When it comes, there's a couple more things on the step chart that I want to get to, but I think it makes it more prudent because of the wide receiver talk. Talk about the Chicago stuff because there were a rumor that came out yesterday that supposedly the Dolphins are in talks with Chicago about Preston Williams. And then late last night or early this morning, Raekwon Smith, the linebacker for the Chicago Bears, tweeted out, I've formally requested a trade. I'm not saying that, Raekwon was, ever a target for the Dolphins, but now there's just way too many rumors that are between Chicago and Miami. What do you know? What have you heard? There's a lot of smoke there. You tell me what I need to be believing.
Yeah, I was a little off the grid yesterday. So I mean, I did see his Roquan Smith's trade request this morning. I'm actually just put up a Chicago Tribune story just to kind of get a feel for what's been going on. He said obviously he put out a statement saying that he doesn't feel valued by this new organization. They have a new head coach, a new GM there. First round pick in 2018. Yeah, I truly haven't seen or heard anything about exact like talks between them. I think that obviously the inside linebacker position is one that Dolphins fans, have been clamoring for a kind of a significant upgrade. Obviously, Obviously they added Channing Tindall, and I think that it's going to be a process. I know people are excited about him, and there's reason to be excited, but I think it's going to be a process, and he's going to have to earn everything, earn his reps. Again, I think that there's potentially four legitimate linebackers ahead of him on the depth chart. But I also think the Dolphins do, I'm not going to count out Chris Greer for making a move because, Chris Greer he said he's always on the phone talking, and I believe that. But I really do think that they like I do think that they like the depth of their linebacker group, and they like the different. It's kind of like the sum of their parts is greater than the whole, or the other way around, I guess. But I'm pretty much just trying to say they like the various skill sets that they all bring, kind of working in this defense. In terms of the compensation, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not gonna lie and talk to you like I've watched a bunch of Bears film and Bears games. I have to watch 3 or 4 Sunday night games, it seems, every year, but I'm not watching a ton of Chicago. But in terms of draft capital, I'm not sure it would be there. Maybe they talk about doing a swap with Preston Williams and Lynn Bowden, and then some draft. I'm not sure. But if I had to guess, and I could be wrong because I've been wrong about a couple of Dolphins moves, I would say that that's not the type of move.
No, you've been perfect. You've been perfect, Daniel. You've been all right.
I was
along,
right about
bud.
Lynn Bowden. I was right about Lynn Bowden and Preston Williams. I will toot my horn about that. But I don't know. I just don't get the sense that that's a move that they'd be in on right now, unless they get him for the low. If I don't know, if the Dolphins can get Roquan Smith for a 5th rounder or something like that, then it's oh shoot, you just added a top inside linebacker. But even that, I really do think that the Dolphins like the state of this defense. I mean, the defense looks really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
what about a package for somebody like tackle Tevin Jenkins, Roquan Smith at linebacker, and then us giving up maybe a high draft pick, you know, maybe Gesicki and Preston Williams. Is that something that Chris Greer is probably actively talking about right now?
I mean, that sounds like an NBA trade, man. You don't see a lot
I
of moves
know.
like that.
Look, I got you, but like to
I can't
me,
even pull up those moves in Madden.
I think that I feel like that's something that makes sense. There have been links that Tevin Jenkins could be moved right early in the training camp. We haven't really heard too much about that in the last couple of weeks, but early in training camp, we definitely heard it, right? Or right before training camp was about to start. And then now there's, the Roquan Smith, trade request. We have a linebacking need. We have an offensive line need. We could Gesicki clearly is expendable. I think the way that this offense is currently looking to be lined up, I think that's a match made in heaven. I personally think that there definitely could be something there to that.
Yeah, I mean, both teams would have to want both of those guys. I mean, who's to say? I don't know what the Dolphins, view of Tevin Jenkins is. Whether they think he's a fit for this scheme. Again, it not only has to match up money wise, which I think it would, but both teams have to want all those guys involved. I do think, again, I'm not counting out. I know even Dolphins fans have been saying, why aren't we bringing in a center? Why aren't we bringing in JC Treader? Like, I really do think that right now, I really do think that they're pleased with the progress of both sides of the ball, and they're not in the moves of making like big significant moves like that right now. Like even on the offensive line, like I'm still kind of iffy on the offensive line, but I will admit that there's been progress from like some of the young guys from previous years, and I don't think that they're in the move. They're in like there's competition, but I don't think there's like competition for starting spots.
Okay.
I don't think they're in the business of like bringing in added competition. I think they really want to work with the guys that they have in house, and whether right or wrong, that's their prerogative. So again, a move could happen. It's obvious. It's been reported that they've had talks about moving Limbo and then Preston Williams. But again, I know Dolphins fans always want to move, and rightfully so, because they saw the team make a bunch of moves this offseason. But I don't see like significant moves like that right now, barring an injury.
Okay. Now I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit, okay? Because we had a small panel on the show yesterday of some YouTubers or some content creators on here who all three of those other guys, they've been at practice, you're at practice every day. Okay. Now these guys have been to practice 1 or 2 times, right? We had one of them who was there for 5 of the last 7 open practices. And the one thing that they kind of came to this conclusion about, and to put some of the beat writers, not you in particular, on the spot, was that you guys, the beat writers, and so I want this to be addressed to you, that you may be putting out the narrative that the Dolphins, let's put the offensive line, is you guys aren't really talking about that. And there's a big glaring need there, and they haven't been playing well. And I understand that you guys are not allowed to say certain things. I think that's part of the issue here. And the other problem is, if there's 60 plays, you guys are talking about 6 of them. You guys aren't talking about the other 54 and what happened with them at other positions. You guys are only pointing out the positives of certain players when it comes to the or when it comes to what you're tweeting out or the information that you're putting out. So what I want you to do is kind of explain to people, A, what you've said on here in the past. You're not allowed to say certain things. B, is there something where, okay, hey, look, you guys, we can't really talk about the offensive linemen, bad, good, or indifferent. Like, is there things that are restraining you from talking about the O-line? Because what I have heard from fans is that the offensive line looks atrocious. And I haven't really heard that from some of the beat writers or the people that are covering the team on a day-to-day basis. I've heard points where they've been, wasn't that great, but they haven't been. I hear the fans are like, this is bad. We need to change this.
So in terms of reporting, well, I'll start with big picture, like what we're allowed to report. I mean, we can report the offensive line looks good, they look bad, they look terrible, they look amazing. That's no point. That's no problem with that. To sum up the Dolphins reporting policy, we can't report anything that would be seen as strategic. So first team, second team, third team, exact players participating on first team, second team, third team, and then anything that goes into specifics, trick plays, specific formations. Like you're not going to be saying they did a bunch formation, they had I right, they had Ingold doing this, they had that. Like anything strategic is off limits.
Okay.
Any fan that goes there can say that and take video. That's that we can circulate, but I can't do that. Now to go to I guess the specifics of what particular guys are reporting, I'll kind of like first reference what I said last week where I said like everyone watches different things. I will say that because it's in real time and I would say this happens sometimes in games too. A lot of times we just follow the ball. Now I've been told that's not the best way to watch football, but that's just naturally how the average person watches the game.
Correct.
They just watch the ball. So as a result, you're going to see a couple positions more often than others. So that being quarterback, wide receiver. That's why I would probably say 90%, if not more, 90% at least of the tweets that we see, whether talking good or bad, is like this quarterback made a great throw, this wide receiver made a good catch, this cornerback got beat, this cornerback made it, because we're just following the ball. In terms of the offensive line, you can go back and look at my tweet. Like I said, for that, I'm going to speak on myself. I have said that I think that the pressure that the offensive line has been given up has been understated because, and you can bring it up, because if you just want to scroll down my timeline or go to my timeline and then search offensive line, you can find me saying, and I believe it may have been after Wednesday's practice or it was sometime last midweek. I said I think that the pressure the offensive line has been giving has been understated because because the quarterbacks can't be touched. So a lot of times we've seen cases where a free rusher comes or a pass rusher gets good pressure and they just kind of stop or they just kind of tag off or just kind of trail off on the quarterback, and the quarterback steps up and then he throws the ball, and a lot of times it might be reported as a 15-yard catch and a great throw when in reality in a real game they would have gotten their head knocked off. So I did say I think that the Tampa Bay practices, I'm interested to see how they do. I think we'll get a better sense of the offensive line there. There's been some cases where I don't think that the run game is I don't want to say it's not where it needs to be, but I will say the Dolphins defensive line has been very, very good in terms of snuffing
Does that
out
say
the
more about the Dolphins defensive line or less
And-
about the
and again,
Dolphins
that's
offensive
the-
line?
and
Because
again,
the
that's
plays
the
that I
question.
have heard, like some people tweet, what I've gotten from fans or people that watch it on a day-to-day basis is they're saying, hey, look, that's after probably he would have been stopped at the offensive line and then he goes off.
So I mean, it's even like I'm not like calling out fans or anything like that, but there's times where I'll see like a run play and he'll get tagged off and then the running back will make a cut and then run up 15 more yards and everyone's cheering and I'm like, that's a gain of 2 in a real game.
In a real game.
So again, it's always tough this time of the year where they're not going full
So
live.
I go back to you, sir. Okay. I challenge you to say to you made the comment a little bit ago that, I don't know. We as fans want to see trades. We want to see moves. But when it comes to the O-line, Daniel, I'm not.
I'll be honest.
I cannot give this regime, no matter how new they are, a pass if this offensive line fails.
No, that's
not
fair.
going to do it.
It's funny because I feel like now I'm trying to be the voice of reason for the offensive line when like 3 weeks ago I was just like, I don't know about this offensive line because again there are questions. I think that Connor Williams' high snaps have been very problematic at times, throwing off the timing of play.
They brought in 3 centers, Saturday, didn't they?
Yes, but I will say that I think that was more depth. I mean, none of those guys.
Yeah, none of those guys were going to start.
None of those guys have legitimate. I think this is more because they've been. Well, I'll say because I'm make sure I don't get in trouble. The team told us that they've been cross training Adam Pankey at center, and he's not a true center, and it's shown. So I think that the guys that they brought in was more like depth options.
JC Tretter.
I mean, I'll say this: JC Tretter has been on the market for God knows how long. at this point, there's got to be a reason why. I mean, it can't be money because the Dolphins have the money.
I could tell you that we had a gentleman up here yesterday that said he reached out to JC Tretter's dad via Instagram and specifically was told that the Dolphins haven't reached out in any way, shape, or form to JC. So
I
with
mean,
that being
there's
said,
a reason. I mean, there must be a
I
reason
get that.
for that.
I understand that, but let me tell you, if come week 1 or 2, Daniel, and we have problems at the O-line, I'm going to be asking, why didn't we call JC Tretter? Why didn't we address the offensive line issue? Why did we try to go with Connor Williams?
I will say
that's a real legitimate thing that you want to show that, hey, you're putting all this into Tua. We see what you put around him, but what are you putting in front of him? And
no, that's fair. That's fair.
a legit question.
Again, to kind of be like the positive now, it's usually the other way. You're positive. I'm doom and gloom. Now you're doom and gloom. I'm positive. But I will say that Teron Armstead has been in and out of the lineup. When he's been in the lineup, you can see a legitimate difference on the left side of the line. I mean, I've seen good moments from Austin Jackson. I mean, I've seen good moments from Leon Eichenberg. Like they have. I mean, it's the give and take of training camp. I will say, and I didn't get the opportunity to really answer when you said, is it good defense or bad offense? I will say it is notable that the Dolphins struggled a lot against teams that run outside zone, wide zone schemes. Like they struggled against teams. I mean, when they played the Colts, when they played the Titans, when they played the Falcons, like they struggled against those teams running the ball. And obviously, the coaching could be a little bit better. The players could have been improved. But it's not like they completely overhauled the defense or the personnel.
They didn't have
so the
to,
fact
in my
that
opinion.
So the fact that the Dolphins defensive front has been this dominant against that scheme, and maybe they're just used to it because they've been playing against it for 2 straight weeks now. But it does, again, I do tend to think it's probably more it's a mixture of both, obviously, but I do think it might be more bad offensive line. But that's not to say I don't think the offensive line has been bad. Like Tua has legitimate dropbacks now in this offense, and it's I'm not seeing nearly as much pressure as I've seen before. Guys aren't just getting completely blown off the ball as soon as they snap. So I think the pass protection has definitely been improved. There's no doubt about it. It's been improved.
So
and I know
in your eyes, the pass protection has gotten better this training camp.
Correct. And even the running game, I think too. I mean, my thing is
I believe you, but it's tough when I hear fans say, and I think some of it is PTSD of what we've seen from past teams.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit here you've been on the show long enough for me. When you say something, I'm going to be like, all right, if Daniel said it, there's some truth, there's truth in it. And I believe it.
I mean, I will tell you, I kept on saying it. Obviously you take notes and you take in everything that you see during training camp. But I assure you, I'll be able to tell you the Dolphins offense will be this good. It will be that good. I'll be able to tell you how good each level of the offense is going to be after the joint practice.
I was about to say, the joint practices, we're going to get a lot of answers, right?
Yeah,
we're going to get a lot of answers.
All I need is joint practices because this is a very similar defense. I'm finishing up a preview that I'm writing ahead of the joint practices, and I'm this is stylistically. There's a lot of similarities in terms of tendencies. They like to blitz a lot. They play a lot of man. I'm excited to see, and this is no shot at Noah or Trill, but I'm excited to see them go up against legitimate starting caliber cornerbacks.
Me too.
Because for all of the hype and again, it's good to see Tua connecting with Tyreek and Jalen, but it's on a day-to-day basis, he's been doing this against guys who probably aren't going to start in the NFL this year. I mean, that's just the truth.
We said yesterday, some of us said it, and some of us felt different. We were kind of split. That facing guys like Noah Igbenogany, that's more facing guys like Xavier Howard or Byron Jones or Brandon Jones. They're some of the best in the NFL, and it's more likely that Noah's more closer to the average starter in the NFL compared to where those guys are. Do you think that's an accurate statement?
Yeah, I mean, most definitely he's closer to a baseline starter than Xavier Howard, who's an all-pro cornerback, and Byron Jones, who is a very, very good starting level cornerback. So again, it's great that he's I mean, hey, I'll give Tua credit. He connected with Tyreek in 11 on 11s, and he had a great pass in 11s. I know some people were saying whether he was inbounds or not. He looked inbounds to me, and it was a great pass and a great catch. But it's like, it's different.
Well, we
different. It's
reviewed
different.
that.
Going
If you
up
look
against Trill Williams and Noah Igbenogany is a lot more different than going up against Jamal Dean and Sean Murphy Bunting and the guys that they have in Tampa Bay. I mean, it's a lot different. Like that's the best way to put it.
We looked at that video, and if you go back and look at it, the referee clearly makes an incomplete pass notion.
He makes a what?
He goes like this as he was out of
I
bounds.
didn't see that. I didn't see that angle, but I mean, it was regardless. They Teddy and Tyreek connected like the same area a couple plays later. Like the connection is there, but again, I mean, because my thing is like I'm not trying to like just diminish what Tua has done and Tyreek, and I'm not trying to like crap on Noah and Trill, but it's like again like on a day-to-day basis, the cornerbacks that he's facing aren't starting. I mean, they'll tell you that they're starting level caliber, but they're not. I mean, right now they're not. They haven't proven to be starting level caliber cornerbacks.
And what I would
that's the fact of the matter.
And what I have heard is Tuesday and last Sunday were the top two best practices of training camp so far. Last Tuesday and last Sunday. Yeah, for Tua.
Yeah, I think he's come on. I mean, I'll say the first couple of days.
But I heard Friday and Saturday were rough though too.
Yeah. Those were rough days. Sunday he looked very, very good. I believe even the practice before that he looked pretty solid. I mean, he's coming on well. I mean, again, I think that they have to kind of adjust to the physicality, adjust to everything in terms of just putting on pads and the playing field starts to even out a little bit because there's a little more contact allowed, especially like in the trenches. But I thought he looked really good. I mean, Sunday was maybe his best practice to date of all training camp. Not because he was connecting deep. Like, yeah, it's great when you connect deep, but it's like how many of those opportunities do you get in a game? But really, where I want to see Tua improve is over the middle of the field with his decision making and with just overall recognition of defenses. So I see a lot of times where he gets pressure and he's not making the right read. Whereas like I saw that Sunday where he was able to look the defense in the eye, see what they were doing, and he made some really, really impressive throws over the middle of the field. So I mean, he's looking good, but again, during practices, I'll be able to tell you what the deal is with the team.
Some people were also saying too that if you look at the 2 days he struggled, that Friday and Saturday, that the news about his personal life and the raw stuff might have played a factor into those 2 days being off days, not only for him but for some of the other team, which obviously helps support him. So I don't know if that played a factor in his 2 off days.
I mean, if you ask him, he'd tell you that that's there's no excuse for that. So I'm not going to make an excuse for that. More than half those guys weren't even around when this stuff was
when
happening.
Everything was going down. I get it. I think what fans want to see is consistency out of Tua. They want to see him have 5 straight days of good practices, 7 straight days of good practices, not 1 here, 2 off, 1 here, 2 off, 1 here, 2.
I mean,
we want to see 7 straight days that man comes out slanging and banging, and he's just making it work. I think that's part of it. I think the other part of it too is, what do we trust when we read certain things from the social media people that are, or from beat writers, from people that are posting, because there seems to be a narrative between the fans compared to the beat writers and on certain things, and people are trying to figure out what's true and what's not true. And I'd like to think that there's probably a happy medium between the both. And so, again, I think you guys are kind of handcuffed on certain things you can say. But I also understand that when it comes down to it, I know that if you say, hey, look, offensive line looks decent, it looks a lot better than what it did last year, that it has been very problematic for Connor Williams in these snaps, I'm going to take it like that's truth. And there's a reason that they brought in 3 centers, and there's a reason that I do see a trade imminent. I think that there is going to, and ultimately, what I really want, Daniel, I just want the Dolphins to try. Because if the Dolphins go out and make a move and that still doesn't work, and by the way, I don't mean sign one of those 3 backup centers. I mean a JC Treader, trade for a starting offensive lineman, go out and get somebody. And if I see that, I'll shut up, because then it'll be like the Dolphins did everything they could in their power. What else did you want them to do?
No, I hear you. I hear you. Just overall with practice reports, I know like so they have different rules. Like when fans are there, we can just like tweet every single play, like play by play, essentially. And I saw somebody make a good point that you don't want to overreact to one play, one practice, one day. You want to look at trends. So I think that more like, yeah, it's good. It's good that fans get to see our tweets in real time and whatnot. But I think that what's more productive is focusing on trends. So it's like, yeah, like if I say Tua completed a 10-yard pass to Tyreek Hill, Tua completed a check down to Chase Edmonds. Like, what am I really trying to tell you? Like, I'm just giving you the play by play. Like, it's better off if I go big picture and say like, where have I seen improvements from Tua in this 2-minute drill? What did he look good with? What did he not look good with? I think that instead of like just saying like this guy did that, this guy did that, I think it's better to like go big picture and like explain like why that matters and like why it's important and like overall like the trends that we're seeing. And I think that the trend that we're seeing is Tua becoming more confident. So again,
that's what I don't think anybody's disagreed on. I've seen nothing in his press conferences, his after practice. He looks like he's not struggling. He's gonna say what he's gonna say. And I also have to admit, I do like a cocky Tua, because he is
I don't know if I describe it as cocky. I think
there is some.
I think he's a little more
when
assertive.
he
I
came
think
out
he's a
and
little more
said,
assertive. I think
I don't
he's
know what
pushing
you
back.
saw, but that was money. Like I was like, I'm here for that Tua. I'm here
Yeah,
for that
I think he's becoming more assertive and pushing back a little bit. But I just at the end of the day, I don't think it really matters. Like, yeah, he's confident, but it's like I don't think anything. All the stuff like he says, and it's funny. Like I remember the media. I'm like all the stuff he says in the media. I don't really take stock into that. Like it's not gonna matter at the end of the day. But it is good. I think he's in a good place. It's clear that he's really clicked with this new coaching staff, and I mean that's a good thing.
Real quick, back to the depth chart a little bit. Bridgewater over Skyler at number 2, just for the fans in the chat that are going nuts about this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask.
Scholars look good, but I mean I don't know why there's any question. I think
I'm just telling you. That's why you got to say the fans narrative.
Summer,
come on.
Every summer fans fall in love with like a couple guys. Like last year, it was Kirk Merritt, and I'm blanking.
I was the president of the Kirk Merritt.
I'm blanking on the quarterback that everyone was falling in love with.
Reed Sinnett,
and everyone's like, "Oh, he's gonna get picked off."
And then he had a great third preseason game against Cincinnati where I was like,
nobody picked him off. Nobody picked him up off waivers, and it's funny. I know it's funny. I know in 2 weeks everyone's gonna be saying, "There's no way the Dolphins can cut Braylon Sanders. Like, there's no way." And there's a very strong likelihood that he gets cut, and we're like, "Oh, we're gonna lose Braylon Sanders," and then Braylon Sanders ends up back on the practice squad. Like this happens every year. I think Braylon Sanders. I think
it's inevitable, right? Like starters aren't going to play, other players are going to play, and some of the players that are going to
good,
yeah, some of them
exactly. But like even big picture, like where, like, and it's funny because I'm not trying to be a hater. I feel like I'm gonna come off as a hater, but it's like in the grand scheme of things, it's like Braylon Sanders moving the needle for the 2022 Dolphins. I would hope the Dolphins aren't in a position where they're leaning on Braylon Sanders, even Eric Ezukama, to move the needle in 2022. I would hope that.
Although Ezukama will be, I've already told you that, Daniel.
He's going to have a role.
Just understand that man.
He's going to have a role.
That man's going to have a crazy season.
Having a role in moving the needle is different, bro. Everybody can't have a crazy season. Waddle can't have a crazy season. It can't be Waddle, Hill.
I told you, Daniel. I believe Waddle's numbers are going to go down. Tyreek's numbers are going to go up because of yards after catch, and I believe that
he had a lot of catches and a lot of yards last year.
And I believe that Ezukama is going to move into the third slot, not Cedric Wilson. That's how I look at it right now. Because I just feel like Ezukama is the man.
Yeah, I mean they'll have.
I'm the president of the Ezukama fan club officially. That's my guy.
I mean they'll have roles and packages for everybody. It's hard to kind of. I mean there's a lot of guys on this offense that they can like make focal points at various different moments. But yeah, I mean, I think that there's a clear hierarchy. I mean, I have been kind of surprised to see Cedric Wilson maybe not quote unquote pop as much, but I think it's clear. I'll say this: I think it's clear, like the Dolphins and teams, they prioritize they prioritize specific things during training camp that they want to do in the regular season. They'll talk about how they want to experiment and but they're experimenting with what they want to do in the regular season. So when I see Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle getting like 75% of the targets, I mean it's clear that that's what they want to do during the season. So I do think that Waddle and Hill are definitely going to be number 1 and number 2 in targets. Who gets the most? I mean, who's to say? I mean, I'm not going to rule out Waddle getting more catches and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, they're going to have roles.
I don't think Waddle's going to get more receptions this year than he had last year.
I don't see that. But in terms of like production and volume, I mean, who's to say? If
Tua's slanging these long passes in a game, then yes, by all means, that's going to. But Jalen's receptions will go down because there's way too many weapons on this team.
He had 104, and they have Tyreek Hill. They have more skill position players, and they're gonna be running a little bit more. So of course, but I think that like I wrote a story about last weekend about how they have 3 guys who played so much in the slot. But when you look at the numbers, Waddle was a lot better when he was like running routes on the outside. Like people say he's a slot. Waddle's not a slot receiver. He's like a full-fledged receiver. He can work on the outside, and he was so much better on the outside. But they kind of had to put him in the slot because they had Devontae, and they just had an offense where he was best in the slot. So I think that it really could be a surprise year. Again, like he's not gonna have 104 catches, but I see him having like 80 catches, and then instead of just barely over 1,000, he has like 1,200, 1,300. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, it's all projection. I mean, who's to say? I mean, they have a lot of really skilled players with the ball in their hands.
All right, couple more things before I let you go. This is the defensive side. Was there anything on the defensive depth chart that stood out to you? I will say seeing Noah in the second team corners stood out to me over Trill.
That's not a surprise. And I can't report certain stuff, but I'll say that's not a surprise. I think Trill has looked better and he's been more consistent, but that's not a surprise.
Well, I also go back to if I feel that the offense is having some depth chart things because they're trying to look at trade bait, why wouldn't they maybe do the same thing? I don't know. The theory's there that maybe they have Noah higher for trade purposes.
I could be wrong, but I don't get the sense I
haven't heard anything about him getting traded.
This could be more of even a pride thing. Like I don't think that the Dolphins. First of all, there wouldn't really be a market for him. But I think just like pride wise, like I don't think the Dolphins would want to unless they get blown away. I think they really want to make it work with Noah. Now I told you I don't know where.
You know how I feel about Noah, and I know how you feel about Noah. So
it's
we're gonna
funny
see who wins when it's all said and done.
I told you there's no way he doesn't make the roster this year, and just based off the depth chart.
I'm telling you there is a way. Like I 100% think that there's.
I mean, what are they gonna get? What are they gonna get for Noah in the trade? That's even worse to do.
I put it. So this is how I truly feel about it, Daniel. This team, there is no room for a first rounder who's not playing.
There is room for him because they don't have good cornerback depth, and if you trade him,
I think so. You got Xavier Howard, Nick Needham, right? You got Keon Crossan, who's been doing really good. Trill Williams has been blowing it out from what according to the media on social media, Daniel. Trill Williams has been amazing.
He's had good moments. Frankly, he's gotten to beat a lot, but he's also had good moments. If Keon Crossan or Trill Williams are playing significant defensive snaps for the Dolphins in 2022, that is not a good thing. Good things will not happen if that's the case. And I'm just being honest. No.
Okay. So
they don't. The Dolphins really don't have the cornerback depth.
The man played a total of 7 snaps minus the Jacksonville game where he played every snap. Minus the Jacksonville game last year, the man played a total of 7 snaps on defense the entire year and didn't dress for 10 games.
I mean, that's last year. We're not talking about. I mean, I know last year.
But come on, man. We're talking about the same defense. You think he automatically now has moved up behind these two guys in one offseason when they haven't like I love Sam Madison, but is Sam Madison making that big of a difference with this kid?
I don't know. That's what we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out soon. I think that again, that's one of the things I'm looking out for. I think that it'd be a very, very. I think it'd be a very, very. It'd be a good omen if we saw Trill and or Noah have like a good set of practices in Tampa Bay, because I think that the speed I mean, you just can't if you can't match up speed wise with a guy, it's going to be tough day in and day out, especially in like these types of settings. But Tampa Bay has more like physical, bigger receivers, so I think that might be a better matchup for those guys. And if they look good, Wednesday, Thursday, I think it's a good sign. But I will say,
don't let Noah get torched these next 2 days, Daniel, because I'm going to come after you on Twitter. I'm going to come after you on Twitter, Daniel.
I mean, I'm
not with your boy Noah, man.
I mean, I'm not denying that he's been getting beat, but I'm saying like it's tough when you're going up against Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill every play. But
that's true. I will give you that.
With all that being said, the Dolphins don't have the cornerback depth that we'd like to think. I mean, again, Noah and Trill had their moments, but I don't think any fan truly in their truest of hearts feels confident if we told them that Trill Williams and or Noah was playing significant defensive snaps during the regular season.
Do you think Noah's going to get playing time in the game?
I told you no, because unless injury, no. But
okay.
I mean, again, you want to set him up for a position. That's why I think that they're not even rushing Byron back, because they're like, Byron's going to be fine when he gets back, health permitting. But we want to get these young guys ready because we saw what happened when Byron and X went down for a game. The defense was still decent, but they can't stylistically do what they want to do without one or two of those guys.
I get you. So you think because of that, Noah's not going to see a lot of playing time?
No. I'm saying that just because they play. It's not
because I heard that the starters too. The offensive side's going to get a quarter. Defensive starters are not going to play that much.
Oh, you talking about preseason or regular season?
I'm talking about preseason.
No, preseason. Yeah, preseason he's going to play a ton. X not going to play.
Yeah, I think game. X is going to play maybe a total of one series on Saturday.
I'd be surprised if X even does that, because they've been limiting him. Like McDaniel is very big on some of these veteran guys,
just not playing.
We barely see X. I mean, X has just been kind of ramping up into 11 on 11s. I think that is a good chance that X does a lot in 11 on 11s, 2 straight days, and then he just takes the day off on Saturday.
That's fair. That's a fair.
And then we see because you see with the new 3-game preseason format, what we saw last year was that they had the starters, like the young starters, play about a quarter or so. And obviously it's a different regime, but it looks like what teams are going to do now is the vets, the real established vets, don't play first game. The young starters are going to play about a quarter or so the first game. They're going to play about half the second game. The second game is going to be the dress rehearsal, and then the third game is going to be like the 4th preseason game where none of the starters play. So they have 2 sets of joint practices, so they don't really have a need to play some of these veteran guys in the preseason games anyway, because they're going to get scrimmage-like reps in 2 sets of joint practices.
2 sets of joint practices. No, I get that. Which, by the way, I'm going to lean on you a lot on Twitter for those. Are you guys having restrictions in those practices, those joint practices?
I think what they said is we have to follow what the Buccaneers PR team, media relations team says, and it's very similar to the Dolphins. But I've seen Bucs reporters have a little more leeway in what they can report, so I'm gonna have to check in on that. But
okay, so put it this way: the next 2 days, clock blockers will be following Daniel Oyefusi on Twitter. Okay, that's gonna happen.
I got you.
So give us a shout out one of those 2 mornings. And it could be about Noah. Hey, Clock Blockers fam, just so y'all know, Noah's out here looking like a goat, whatever you're going to say. All right, last 2 things, and then I'll let you go. I appreciate you taking the time this morning. I was late, and you're taking the time with me in overtime. I appreciate it. What do you see? What do you expect out of these 2 practices? It's inter squad practices, right? You're not playing against your friend. You're playing against another team. We've already kind of said this, but be specific. What type of answers are we going to see over the next 2 days? Are we going to? Am I going to know how decent or bad this O-line is after 2 days?
Yeah, I feel very confident in saying that on both sides of the ball. I think that because again. So I wasn't here for the joint practices with the Bears. Literally, I think a year ago today or around this time a year ago today is when they I moved down to Miami and they had done joint practices with the Bears in Chicago. So I wasn't officially on board yet, but I was here for the Atlanta Falcons joint practice, and it was clear then that the offensive line was going to be a problem. Like, they had a lot of problems with stuns.
Ooh, that's a good thing that you just said, because I didn't know that. So you knew in Atlanta's joint practices last year that there was a glaring need. So we're gonna know.
The first
We're gonna
practice,
know.
they had significant problems with the pass rush. And the Falcons,
That's
they
good
have
to
a
know.
decent defense, but I mean, we saw what they were. We saw what they were last year. The second practice was a little more improved, but yeah, you could tell the offensive line was going to be a problem there. But again, like when it's different when you go up against a team that you just haven't seen. The Dolphins defense, offense, they've gotten used to each other's, the opposing units' tendencies and what they like to do here and there. But it's a little different when you're going up against another opponent, an opponent as good as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is a team that we all acknowledge is probably one of the favorites to go to the Super Bowl, if not win it. So I think it's going to be a really, really good barometer for this team.
On where we're at.
Again, I hope that all the guys can get some good work in. I hope that Teron Armstead is in there for a lot of the reps. Xavier Howard is in for a lot of the reps, because I want to see them go up against the Tampa Bay Bucks best and see how they do. Again, I'm not gonna do sweeping takes, but I'm gonna have a good feel for the team. And I think that a lot of us are gonna have a good feel for the state of the team after these two practices.
Now, last thing, tell the fans that they should not go overboard one way or the other. So if Tua comes out here throwing dimes, it's great to get excited about that, and I want to get excited. But if Tua comes out here throwing interceptions or we're getting sacks, it's not the end of the world either.
I will say this,
because that's going to happen on Twitter,
yes,
one way or the
correct.
other.
Of course, I mean that's how Twitter works. But I'll say this: I would be more. How do I put this? I would be more, optimistic. No, I'll put it the other way around. I'd be more pessimistic or more worried if I saw Tua after looking very, very good. I mean, even the first couple of days of non-padded practices, I mean, he was lighting people up. I wasn't there for the first fan practice that open practice that was open to fans, but he was lighting it up that day. So I would be a lot more concerned if we saw a massive regression in these two practices. I'd be more worried in that case than if he lights it up. Of course, if he lights it up, then that's great. That's a great sign. This is a very good defense. But I'd almost be more worried if he had a massive regression and then he looked like he didn't know how to play football, in these two practices. But either way, you don't want to overreact too much. But I do think that it's going to be a very, very telling. It's going to be two very, very telling practices.
All right, man. I appreciate you taking the time this morning. Good luck in your move 2 floors. Okay. 2 flights of stairs.
Yeah, I still got a bunch of boxes in the apartment. I gotta.
So does that mean we're gonna have a better backdrop for you?
Better back. I don't know about a better backdrop. It's it's the same. It looks the same. Still small.
Because I like what you got right now. Your lighting is great, and I like.
Well, this is the
conference room.
It's the
I know.
business center. It's the business center on the first floor. So maybe I'll start doing it here because. Before
Daniel's all fancy. He's got a business center. I got you. I see how it is. All right, Daniel, tell the people where they can find you, man. Everything that you do.
Yeah. So definitely for the joint practices, all your up-to-date Dolphins updates. You want to follow me on Twitter at Daniel Oyefusi, just like you see below me. If you want to read my work, Miami Herald, MiamiHerald.com. I did tweet out the sports pass. I know you were on me about that. I tweeted out the sports pass.
I know. I saw.
So if you scroll down my timeline, you'll see I can retweet it too today.
Why don't you pin it? You should pin it at the top of your thing.
Yeah, I might do that. Yeah, but
pin it at the top of your profile. And if you want to retweet it instead of pinning it and say, "Hey, this is for all of my clock blockers, morning fam," you can do that too.
Got you. But I sent that out. So definitely, subscribe to the Miami Herald. We're gonna have a lot of updates. Because it's going to be a lot of news coming out kind of these practices and then even the preseason game as well. And then obviously we have the Dolphins the Dead podcast come out every Wednesday, everywhere you get podcasts, Apple, Spotify, even on the website you can, we have the podcast below every story. So, we're technically halfway through training camp. I know we still have 3 preseason games, 3 practices, but we're technically halfway through training camp. So I'm just ready for like the games that really matter.
I think I got like 3 official weeks with you left, right? Three weeks left with you.
Give or take, yeah, I guess 4 weeks because they got the week. We have the week before week 1. They have a break after the third preseason game.
Okay.
So,
all right. So we got 4 more shows officially with you, and then you're doing your thing for the season, and you'll still come on here and there and say hello.
Yeah.
You're not gone forever. This isn't goodbye. This is I'll see you
I'm
later.
not going off into the.
I love it, man. Hey, Daniel, I love having you on. Look, it's real. Twitter's a real place with real people, and I will call you out if Noah looks
it's a
like
fake place
bad
with real. It's a
baby
fake place with
garbage.
real people. Twitter is not a real place.
It is a real place.
Nah, it's a fake place for real people.
It's a fake place for real.
But I don't know. There's a lot of bots out there too, so it might be mostly fake people too. I don't know, man.
A lot of bots out there. You better watch for those bots, man. They don't play, man. The Dolphins Twitter bots will come after you, man.
The bots can't get me. I'm impenetrable. They can't get me.
Daniel, I love having you on, man. You're the man, and we'll see you. I think next Tuesday. We'll see you next Tuesday, and hopefully we'll have a lot more to talk. We will have a lot more to talk about next Tuesday. Next Tuesday show is going to be fire. All right, man. I love you, man. Well, have a good one. All right.
Yes, sir. You take it easy.
Yep. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Love that guy. He's awesome. Look, I think I got a lot of answers from him this time. There's so many things to kind of discuss when it comes to talking about the Miami Dolphins, talking about the depth chart, talking about where did the Dolphins go from here? Is there a trade imminent? If one thing I kind of took out of it there is that he said the PR team kind of puts that together, and don't get me wrong, it has to go through checks and balances with the front office, but that depth chart isn't really necessarily 100% put together by the coaching staff. I thought that was interesting. I didn't know that. The other thing that I thought was, I think we're all kind of scratching our head about Preston being that high on the depth chart as well as Lynn. But my theory on that is, and you can disagree with it, is they're that high because of the trade thing. And I think that's a direct retaliation in regards to, or direct reaction to the Albert Breer, story hours earlier before that depth chart came out. Albert Breer goes ahead and, announces the Dolphins are actively in trade talks for to get rid of Preston Williams and Lynn Bowden Jr. Like, why come? So the depth chart coming out a couple of hours later, and then those guys being higher up than Ezukama, who, by the way, is at the end, which is crazy to me. It's clear that we've seen Ezukama stand out in practice. Nobody's denying that. So if he is how do I actively take that depth chart seriously? I can't. And so, and if I'm questioning that part of the depth chart, I have to question other things too. I think it was a very fair question to ask. Hey, look, if this is the case here, what about the tight ends? What about the linebackers? What about, Noah being number 3 on the depth chart? Or number 4 when it comes, in the second team for the depth chart. Now, and again, if people are like, what does Noah do to you, Steven? Why do you have something against Noah? I don't have anything against Noah. I just clearly understand that the Dolphins, how they valued him last year. And they clearly didn't value him last year because he didn't play. And when he did play, he didn't play. Or when he did dress, he didn't play. So, I'm just, there's not too much different. The offensive team is different, but that has nothing to do with the defense. That has nothing to do with the front office. Same, defensive coaching for the most part, with the exception of 1 or 2, Sam Madison, Patrick Surtain, right? But at the same time, you will also say that, hey, look, still same front office. So I just want to see Noah prove it to me. And I'm telling you, if Noah comes out here and plays like trash in these 2 practices, and then if he does, here's what's going to happen. He might have a mediocre practice, right? And then goes out and has a great game, but it's against third and fourth stringers, what am I supposed to think about that? That he got better? No. But, there's something to be said of that. And so I don't have any personal issue with Noah. I just prove me wrong, Noah, is what I want. And how you prove me wrong is two ways. You make the team, one. And not only do you make the team, once you make the team, if you dress, you clearly play an active role on defense. I'm not saying you got to start. I'm just saying that when your snaps come in, you're making a difference. I'm not talking about special teams. I know the kid can play special teams, but there are plenty of NFL players that can play special teams and also play on offense or defense, depending on what it is. Okay? So that's how Noah proves me wrong. And you know who I am to Noah? Nobody. So it doesn't matter. No one thinks about me anyways. I'm just that as a fan, that's ultimately what I want to see. When it comes to this trade discussion with Chicago, I think there's a lot there, more than meets the eye. I think that Greer's on the phone right now, actively, making. I think there's one, maybe two, but there's definitely one more trade that'll be significant for this roster, or this team, whether it's sending people away or getting people here from Greer before training camp's over. 100% believe that's going to happen. That's what I think. Like, there's way too much smoke, and there's way too many people on this roster that would have value on other teams. So you're going to see that happen. Mark K says, Steven, you don't draft a player in the first round not to dress. He didn't last year, Mark. That's what I'm getting at. And if we get 2 years of it, then we just wasted a roster spot for 2 years. Don't let that happen, because I will be all over Chris Greer for that. Now, again, I like a majority of the moves Chris Greer has made, and I'm a Chris Greer fan, but you let a roster spot waste because don't do that. Don't let that happen. Greer's wheeling and dealing. I believe that Greer's wheeling and dealing. That's what I think. All right, let me go ahead and hit the reset for you guys. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Lockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I hope you all have enjoyed everything so far today. We're going to have a little bit of a mini panel right now. I'm going to go ahead and open up the lines for you guys to get on here and hang out with me. Hope you all are enjoying this. Hit the like button. Donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. Share. I want to hear from you. 10-minute timeouts are in full effect. Day bans are in full effect. Week bans are in full effect. Month bans are in full effect. I hope y'all are enjoying this. We're going to have a fun time. We're going to have a fun show today. Tomorrow's going to be Wildin' Out Wednesday. I think we're going to get a little taste of that today, though, because I think the depth chart are going to rile some people up. I think some of this trade talk is going to be very interesting to see what some of you fans think about this. We'll have to see about that. All right. Hit the like button. Let's go. All right. Let me bring on Rashad. Rashad, man, what's going on, brother?
I wasn't going to join this morning, but I'm good. Can you hear me?
You got to speak louder.
Can you hear? Hold on, wait. Let me grab my other headphone. My bad.
Hold on. I see what I did. Technical difficulties. Go ahead. Say it again, Rashad. Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
I got to realize that you're on the same line. I can hear you now. That was my fault. I got to get that song put on the box here. I have it on the computer, and so when I pull it down, still getting used to all the buttons and gadgets here, man.
How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, man. Life is good. I can't complain.
I was saying that I wasn't going to join until probably later after I got ready for work, but I have a question.
I have an answer.
How do we waste a roster spot for someone who did not dress?
That is wasting a roster spot.
How? If he's not dressed, if he's not on the roster.
So if he is part of that 53 man, only 46 or 48 people dress. Right?
Really?
Yeah. Not all 53 dress.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So if he is on the 53 man roster and does not dress, I'm
We could
sorry,
have.
that is the definition of I waste my slot. Like there are some people where there's so much depth that yes, some people aren't going to play, right? And they're just there, and I get that, and I understand that. But when it comes to Noah Igbenogany, to
Because
be
he's
a
the
first
first
round
round
pick
pick.
and not dress, don't let that happen for 2 years straight because I'm going to be all over him. And every fan should be as well. It shouldn't even just be me. But if so, like I believe what Daniel says. We're going to get a lot of answers this week with these joint practices. But you know how I feel about it. You know.
Yeah. But what I think Daniel was saying is how he's ahead of Trill and all of that stuff is. There's no way he
Level
is
3 noob,
healthy.
$100, and I won't say Noah's name no more today. All right, hold on, man. Let me bring in Noah Igbo's swear jar fee. I think this is Andrevius. What's up, man? How are you?
This is not Andrevius, and I promise you, this is also not Noah Igbenogany. Okay,
Is this
I
Chris Greer
am
again?
not
Yesterday?
Noah Igbenogany, and I am not upset that you keep slandering my name because I didn't pay my swear jar.
You mean Noah's name?
Look, you mean
Yes,
Noah's
Noah's name. I'm sorry.
Noah's. He gets confused when you have multiple personalities. Oh man! All right, so I'm assuming Andrevius, you don't agree with me about Noah.
Oh
You
no,
think
I said no.
I'm overdoing? You think I'm overdoing it with him?
Oh no, I agree with you earlier that he's probably not going to make the team. But then I took it, I thought
You
about
looked
all
at
the
the
jokes
roster.
I make about how Skylar Thompson's 173 years old. And then I tried to put into perspective that we drafted Noah Igbenogany when he was barely 20 years old. He was still, wet behind the ears, had Similac on his breath, as Stephen A. Smith would say. We got to give him some time to come into his own. And maybe this year is the year. He's just coming fully into his grown man body. You know how being in your early 20s is. Hopefully now, he's useful in some way.
I see him as a legit rookie this year. What I expected from him his rookie season, I'm kind of expecting this year. I didn't expect too much.
Von Joe, don't do that, Von Joe. Don't be that guy, Von Joe. We love you, Von Joe. Right,
Didn't expect too much of him playing behind X and Byron. Like when we drafted him, I was like, what about the Nick Needham guy? Didn't he do pretty good? But yeah. I didn't see what Flores saw, I'm gonna say. To take a number 30 with the running
Also,
back that
another
was on
thing
the
to be
board at the
fair to
time.
Noah Igbenogany, we clearly drafted him because Flo was sick of X and his foolishness, and he was our backup plan to when we got rid of X, and then we decided to work things out with X. So now Noah's just looking like a guy who was drafted here for absolutely no reason.
Look, I don't disagree with you at all. All right, let me bring in a couple of other people in here to the chat this morning. People are afraid of me. Who's this? Is this Estefan?
It definitely is not.
Oh, it's Alex. What's up, Alex?
What's up, man?
Alex, hurry up. Say what you're going to say. Hurry up. Hurry up.
No. Don't do that. Because people are afraid of me. They're afraid of my
They are,
take.
Alex.
They're afraid of the truth.
Do that, Alex.
Kick me off.
They're afraid of the truth.
Tell him, Alex. Tell him the truth, Alex.
Listen, Noah's going to make the team, okay?
Okay, that's not the truth. Now you're lying to people,
There's no doubt
Alex.
about it. There's no doubt about it.
There is doubt.
If you start with this
there definitely
is
stuff, doubt.
Oh, come on. Will Byron hurt and not going to be ready till about maybe the week one? And of course, TD with his usually comment saying that you're afraid that Tua's going to poop the bed this week. If he has a bad game against Tampa, who cares? It's one game.
Wait, Tua playing against Tampa?
Who was playing against
Tampa?
If he has a bad,
there's the rumor that they're going to play the first quarter. They're going to play the first quarter.
Oh God, I hope not. Like just two drives. I just want to see two drives.
Saturday,
I don't even want to see a whole quarter.
No, just 2 drives. I'd rather see 2 drives. That's it.
I don't want to see a
And
whole
again,
quarter.
if he doesn't,
I don't want nobody
You
to
do
get hurt.
realize
I just don't want to
that
see it.
that 2 drives might equal
True,
1
true,
quarter, just
true.
so y'all know.
that's true. That's true. You're right, Steven.
You might be right.
You know what? 2
But-
drives where we do 3 and out, so everybody can complain about it, but nobody gets hurt. Let's go.
I'm here
Yeah.
for it. Give me 6
Of course,
handoffs.
everybody. If Tua has back-to-back 3 and outs, then of course you're gonna hear the whole pen and blow up on Monday morning saying, "Oh, you're treating Jerry."
Oh, Alex, sorry, Alex, you got to go for 10 minutes.
Oh,
sorry, bud.
Oh,
Wow.
Good morning, Batman. What's up, Batman?
Sheesh.
How's everybody doing?
Better than
Good,
Alex at the moment.
Hey,
Just so Alex knows I love Alex.
It
Go
was
ahead,
a
Alex.
great weekend over the weekend. Met Chef Drew on Sunday. Met Ali. Who else did I meet out there? Miss Finns. Met a bunch of people, man. It was fun, a lot of fun. On the Noah subject and the Trill, definitely Trill Williams is making this team. Definitely, I'm gonna tell you that from training camp, he's making the team for sure. And Noah, he has to make the team. I know that. What was the bet that you made, Stephen? You said if Noah.
I have not made any bet. Don't put that narrative out there.
Wait. You did say something about if Noah was on the roster, on the 53 roster. You said something. I'm trying to remember.
He did say something like
came
that.
out of my mouth.
He didn't say
Never.
bet.
I never said a bet.
Okay,
no
bet.
No, you never said a bet. It was Noah and Fedulum. You said something about Noah. I can't remember.
Yes.
I can't remember.
I'm sure it was something to the effect that Fedulum will make this roster over.
Look,
Noah.
Stephen D. Half the fan base is willing to give a 146-year-old man a chance to develop, and you don't want to let a 22-year-old get a chance to develop. Come on now.
Who's Benjamin Button? Who are we talking about? Benjamin Button?
Skyler, yeah.
19.
Hey, man, Fedulum hasn't even seen the bench, let alone the field, so he ain't making this team, man.
That man was a captain on special teams, bro.
He was.
He better not see the field.
We got other guys. This season, we got other guys.
He better not see the field. That's the last thing I want to see.
Oh, no respect on Fedulum's name.
I hate Fedulum worse than
How do you
Bonjo
hate
hates
Fedulum? The man was a captain.
Listen. We had
Rashad. Hate is such a strong.
I have a question for why you love Fedulum. What is even his role? Like, what's his position?
He's a gunner. That's it.
He's a.
Why do I care if he makes the team or not?
He's not even a safety. He's a gunner. That's what we had. He's a special teams guy.
Why I hate Fedulum so much? We had the Chiefs in a box. You remember that game 2 years ago?
Yeah, when
Bobby McCain asked for a rest. Like, let me sit down.
Mike McDaniel, can you tell us what Clayton Fedulum's role is on the team? Mike McDaniel, please. Mike.
Clayton.
Hello, Mike.
Type of player where
you got to speak louder.
Clayton.
You got to stutter a little bit.
Where he's going to make this team because he's doing everything that he's asked.
Oh, Sharif.
Hello,
Sharif. I was wondering.
Sharif, you actually sound like Mike McDaniel right now. That's the funny thing.
I was like, I'm tripping out. I'm like, Mike McDaniel's on the show?
Bro, you ain't know how clock blockers do it, boy. I got Chris Greer yesterday. I got Mike McDaniel today. Well, y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready for the #1 Miami fan morning show. I love it. All right, I got one other person who wants to come on here, y'all. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? What's up, Mark? Hey, buddy.
Hey, I wanted to propose before I get thrown off the panel a viable trade between the Bears and the Dolphins.
Oh, I'm listening. I'm all ear.
Okay, Roquan Smith and Tevin Jenkins to the Dolphins.
Yep.
And the Dolphins give up Cedric Wilson because they could slot Gesicki into.
Cedric's not
Wilson.
going anywhere. He just came here.
I was thinking of Cedric.
Well, I'm trying to look at it in relation to what the Bears need. The Bears are in desperate need of wide receivers. Preston Williams is not going to get you anything, in my opinion. But I think Cedric Wilson does. And Cedric
there's no
Wilson
trade interest. There's just interest.
Because Gesicki's a wide receiver anyway. We all know that. And it gives the Dolphins that vertical stretch down the middle that they want to go along with Hill and Waddle. So now, along with that trade, it'll be a first-round pick next year, the #1 pick next year, which belongs to the 49ers. They still have issues at the running back room, so they can move one of their spare running backs. I'm not going to move Edmonds, or I'm not going to move Mostert, but maybe a Sonny Michel, or maybe a Gaskin, or
Mark, you
one of
keep
those guys
saying
can move.
I'm not gonna in reference to the
I'm
Dolphins.
being Chris Greer for the moment.
Okay, all right.
What if they ask for
Mark's
Skyler?
a
Can
closet
I ask
Dolphins
Mark a
fan.
question? Hey, Mark, how do you feel about the rumors about OBJ going to the Bills?
Hate it. Don't want him. Don't need him.
Okay.
The guy's coming off an ACL that he had in the Super Bowl game last year. Buffalo's
The man
wide
scored a
receiver
touchdown in the
Don't
Super
need
Bowl
him.
last year and then got hurt. What you want from the man?
What I want is a guy that's going to. Well, first of all, Buffalo has no cap space to even deal with him, so it's not even viable.
You want to know why? Because they spent all that money on a defensive player.
No, they spent their money on Billy Rush.
Overpaid.
Von Miller's making $5 million.
Miller was overpaid, bro. Overpaid.
Well, everybody overpays for people. You know, $30 million.
If you had a GM like ours that knew how to manipulate the cap space, you'd be in a better position. But not
the
everybody.
Bills think the Bills think they did a great deal.
I'm not going to argue
with
that.
Von Miller.
I'm trying to make this a Dolphins related topic.
Okay.
So anyway, would you throw in? So if you throw in Cedric Wilson, a running back, because the Bears only are weak at running back. They have holes at wide receiver. They have holes at offensive line, but the Dolphins really can't assist in that with the current roster as it stands. And of course, they would need a replacement linebacker. So maybe you throw in a Van Ginkel into all of this, because they're not going to take an old Landon Roberts. Where do you place the value on improving your offensive line potentially with Tevin Jenkins and the linebacking core?
Who are we trading these people
Tevin Jenkins
for?
can be had for Preston and a fifth. Like, we don't have to trade Van Ginkel for anything.
Right. Who is Tevin Jenkins? Relax your soul. Like, you act like he's the god of offensive linemen. Why would we give up all that for Tevin Jenkins?
Yeah,
I'm saying
make it make sense.
Smith.
Mind you, if we get Tevin Jenkins, he's still going to have to battle for a starting spot.
Tevin Jenkins for Cedric Wilson, running back off the roster, Van Ginkel, and a draft pick from next year. Maybe
what you what he's saying is Roquan Smith.
If we're spending that much, we better go out and get a stud. And Tevin Jenkins, sir, is no stud.
You're talking about Roquan Smith.
They better give us a first rounder.
Right, exactly. Roquan Smith, who's requesting a trade again.
Smith as a straight out trade.
I think as far
I
as
give him a 6.
I think as far as draft compensation, no, Roquan is easily worth a third.
Well, you got to look at the contract.
He's not a third because he needs a contract.
I think the mistake here is that he doesn't realize how valuable AVG is to our team.
Yeah, AVG is no scrub. And he's in a contract.
But here's the thing, Batman. There's no other team in GM that would probably think like us, because we see what AVG does. But he's like, he doesn't even start.
You kicked off Alex, but won't kick off Mark. So what are you talking about, Von Joe? You sound like a hypocrite right now, Von Joe. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just saying, Von Joe.
He wants somebody to pick up the tab. That's all that is.
I look at Roquan Smith, 163 tackles last year. Admittedly, because
he's a great linebacker.
Team, four sacks, 3 forced fumbles. I think he had a couple of interceptions. How do the Dolphins not need that in their linebacking core?
What's the contract look like? That's my question. What's the contract look like? Before we depends on the compensation.
Again, as we know, the salary cap is so maneuverable, so manipulatable that it can be fit in, it can work.
Right, but I'm saying if he still has years on his contract.
Triple S podcast says y'all focusing on Tevin. Roquan is a top 3 NFL linebacker.
Yeah, I'm not saying he is. He's a great linebacker. What I'm saying is, depending on the contract, depends on what we give up as far as compensation. If he's if he's at the last year of his deal, then it might be different if he has 3-4 years on a contract.
Well, he's talking
for
like
bank. He's looking for top linebacker money. You're probably talking. Let's see what the going rates of linebackers are. You have to maybe look at the Bobby Wagner contract. Maybe 5 years, maybe 5 years and $90 million.
So
you're looking at.
Let's keep AVG and get rid of Jerome Baker.
Now that's a good that's an excellent
The
move.
thing
No,
is,
he was being sarcastic. That's not
No,
what
no,
he was
I'm
saying.
not being sarcastic. If we're upgrading at middle linebacker and
get rid
he's
of a
gonna
middle
cost us a
linebacker.
lot of money, we should get rid of our middle linebacker that cost a lot of money.
We still gonna have
That's
to
a
take
great.
that
That's
cap
actually
hit.
a great take. Is what Vic is
We
what
need to
13
get rid of
million right now.
Roberts. Is what we need to do. I'm
Man,
here for you, Von
Maybe
Joe.
with 13
Now
million.
I was about to say Von Joe is all about getting rid of a Landon Roberts.
I
So
Oh
was
yeah,
gonna say Von Joe should back up Mark on this
Nobody
part
wants a
on this
Landon
piece, but
Roberts. Von
Tyndall, man.
Joe.
Hey, Channing Tyndall looks great out there, man. He looks good. He looks good. He looks
man, I
good.
tell you,
that's just all natural ability. I
Yes.
want to see that. I
yeah,
want to see the instinct. That's
Right.
why he didn't
Right.
get all that run until his senior year, is because
yeah.
he didn't have that natural instinct. But his senior year, it showed that
So we about to
sideline to
have
sideline.
two Georgia linebackers side by side.
I take that over
Yeah,
what we got
Tyndall's
right
over on
now.
Smith, and then you
How's
got
it going,
Ingram and
Steven?
Van Ginkel on the
I'll,
But
outside.
you're
I'm
not
doing
gonna
good.
tax me for it.
I'll say this, fellas. If Roquan does come here, we automatically, in my opinion, have the best defense in the NFL. Like I'll say, like he would upgrade us that much.
Yeah, I agree at that point. Absolutely.
We would
We
arguably
still
have a
have no
top
cover
5.
linebackers though. That's the whole thing.
Well, we got
Bro.
top 5 right now, Steve.
Bro,
We got
like,
top 5 right now.
I
A
don't know
couple
about
of
that,
things.
but
Our best cover linebacker will be
Steven, we got top
Tyndall.
5 right now, Steven. We do.
Cruz,
I got a couple of things I
you
want
got
to
to get to
mention.
$50. But yes, I will allow it. I will allow it, but you have to put in 2 of 50 in it.
Wow.
Why does everybody hate Mark so much?
So first of
Cruz,
all,
what is your problem
morning
with
to
me?
you
I'm
to you,
doing
the
Dolphin
Dolphins.
talk.
Hold up,
What's
hold
your
up.
issue?
I feel like Mark hasn't even said anything really crazy today, guys.
Oh,
Y'all
no,
just
he did.
really
He
hate
did.
this
Mark's
man.
all right.
No, Mark
So-
did. He said
but
we were going
guys-
to trade Van Ginkel and a pick and Cedric for Roquan and Tev. No, that was crazy already.
He just
But
playing fantasy football right now. We do this stupid shit all the time.
Swear jar.
While you guys on the
Steven,
pan,
the level 2 noob says we should. He demands a panel vote of Mark.
I
Oh,
like
wow.
Mark.
My
I'm
vote
one
is
of the
no.
few that actually likes Mark, though. I'm one of the few that actually likes Mark.
That nonsense he said that X pulled from
You know,
the
as soon as
closet.
Mark says something crazy,
kidding,
I'm
I'm
all
kidding,
for
I'm
kicking him
kidding.
off the panel, but I don't feel like he said
no
anything
man,
crazy
Mark's
yet.
cool, man. I want to
I
get you
will
guys take.
I will say y'all paid to get Alex off here, but y'all won't do that for a Bills fan. Like where's the line? If Von
That
Joe
was
is all
Von
over me,
Joe.
Where am I being
know,
a Bills
but
fan?
Von Joe hates
Joe's a
Mark more
hypocrite.
than Alex, but he's
Von
the one.
Joe's such a hypocrite because he's supposedly what you would call it, boycotting the show because I let Mark come on before a Dolphins fan, but he's kicking off Dolphins fans over Bills fans. So where does it make sense? Please, Von Joe, please come up here, Von.
Come up, Vaughn. I
Steven,
just want to make.
Level
can I
2
make-
noob said that
You know,
can you drop the
I'm
link?
glad.
I already
Hold on. I got something to say. You know,
I want. Hold
feel-
on,
I
Alex.
feel disrespected and disgusted right now.
You're okay, Alex. You're okay, man.
Alex
is back.
That
Alex
it's
is
just,
mad,
that
y'all. You can't talk to people like this, y'all.
I just feel disrespected and disgusted because I get attacked with all my takes, right?
better
But
get it out quick.
you can't ban a Mark.
Hurry up, Alex. Hurry up. They're gonna get you, Alex. Hurry up.
It's okay. Let them ban me. I just hope that somebody bans me for the entire month.
I just want you to know,
I'm okay
Alex,
with
I've
that.
never banned you
I'm okay
before,
with
my
that.
brother. I've never banned you. I've banned a lot of
okay,
people.
man.
Somebody ban me for a whole
you,
month.
Alex.
I'm okay with
Shout
that.
out to you, Alex, because you keep this
Everybody up
channel
here.
going.
Yeah, everyone up here has had a taste of it, Alex. You know,
Somebody
even
just
Steven.
But
Someone
Alex,
banned Steven.
but it's a
Someone banned
difference.
Steven twice in a
Alex,
day.
you have paid Steven's rent before.
That is not true.
Shout out to you, Alex.
Where do y'all think I live that amount pays my
YouTube takes what, 30, 40%?
48%.
Here's the thing. Von Joe, someone that says they're gonna ban the panel, sure has a lot to say, man. You know,
Alex,
and
are you calling out Von Joe?
I'm calling out Von Joe. Yes, I am for kicking me off the panel.
Sucky now.
Von Joe. What you gonna do, Von Joe? You gonna sit there in the chat and do nothing today?
I hope he bans me. Ban me for a month.
Got the
Ban me for
police
the
messing
entire
with
movie.
me, and they can't do nothing to it.
You know,
G.
we're supposed to be boys. You know, Von Joe.
Yeah, Von Joe.
we're supposed to be boys. You're gonna kick me off the panel instead of Mark? Bro,
Yeah,
somebody just
yeah.
ban me for the whole month. I'm okay with that.
Go-
I'm okay with that.
No, man, I want Von Joe to come up here now. Now he's been
So,
called
so
out by
Stephen
Alex.
D.
Can't let
But
him be
now that
called
I,
out by Alex.
Stephen D. First of all, I'm gonna say, right, great show once again,
I
and
appreciate it.
getting
Man.
us the knowledge with
We're
Daniel.
getting a precursor to Wilding Out Wednesday today. I can see. I can already
But
see.
I
This
wanna,
today's going
I
down.
wanna get the panel's take on this while everyone is up here. So
Two tiers,
everyone's
really, Vanjo? Two tiers? Okay,
so
that's okay.
we're really concerned, right, about the offensive line, and I think it's overbearing. To me, it reminds me of when we wanted the running back from Pittsburgh. We also wanted I forgot the wide receiver from Pittsburgh.
Lindsley from the
For-
Green Bay and the white and yeah, and the
So
running back.
we wanted Le'Veon Bell. We wanted the wide receiver who's very controversial, and we didn't need them at the time, but we were so greedy. We wanted them. We never got them, and I think that's the same situation here, where we still want a Le'Veon Bell at the offensive line, at center. We want to. I keep forgetting the kid's name, the wide receiver we wanted from Pittsburgh, but we want Schuster, right? And we're pandering and pandering for it. But if we just know McDaniel's offense, then we would know that it'll be an I formation, strong side, weak side, where the fullback will be helping the lineman. And sometimes we'll bring in an extra offensive lineman. My point is, if Elandon Roberts is shooting the gap of a 2 tight end set, 1 running back, now Elandon can get behind the line of scrimmage and shut our running game down for -2 yards because you have Ingle there taking on Elandon Roberts of the world. So when we say, oh, we need another offensive lineman, that's Ingle. We paid him, what, $5.9 million? He's a Pro Bowler, and his job is to take on the middle linebacker and get him out of there. That's the help you want. That's the help you're begging for. That's it. So wanting Treader or wanting some treaded tire guy who could play center, that's Ingle. Ingle will take on the middle linebacker in our running game, and that will play a great role and help our 5 linemen. And another thing I want to point out real quick is I still have the bet open. Igbenogany over 2.5 interceptions and at least 5 breakup passes.
That's fair.
He's gonna get over 150 snaps. They're not taking him out of the preseason games because Byron will not be back till week 1. My point is this: we as fans need him to have those 5 breakup passes, and we need him to have over 2.5 picks. You all agree? Yes.
Mark Aldo said see ya, but I gotta go, Mark. Mark didn't
Oh,
even
they're gonna
see
work
it.
Noah.
So I know you all would agree that we would like that
10
over
minutes, Mark. You'll be
2.5.
back.
We'd like that over 2.5 interceptions, and we'd like at least 5 breakup passes by Igbenogany. You'll have all the snaps in preseason to get him. You all agree we would like that, right?
Noah about to show out. Y'all just don't know.
But I gotta argue
Y'all
about
just don't know.
your Ingold comment, because you're telling me we
MVP.
got a fullback to help Austin Jackson. What are
Well,
we
if
doing?
you watch McDaniel's offense, which I did before we got him as a coach, I looked at San Francisco's what they call the not a power running scheme, they call it the zone blocking scheme.
Austin Jackson about to show out too.
It's Ingle who's taking on those middle linebackers, and he's getting them out of there. Pro Bowler.
Worried about the middle linebacker.
No, what you got to understand is there's a front 7. There's a front 7.
I'm not worried about the middle linebacker.
Listen, there's a front 7 that shut down our running game with 2 tight end set last year. That won't happen when you have a strong side or weak side or I formation. That can't happen anymore. Why? Because if you break through our line, Ingle is going to take you out. I'm telling you. So now, let's just say they are good pushing forward. Now Ingle is up the field taking on the safety as opposed to a linebacker. My point is, this is why Mostert breaks off 25-yard runs and he's running 23 miles an hour. It's because of the fullback. Now, I like Lusaka Polite. I like Conrad. They're not even close to Ingle. We paid him a lot of money to help the O-line. That's my point.
But this is my problem.
Talk, Sharif.
I get what you're
we
saying.
Paid him that a lot. We paid him a lot of money to help the O-line running game.
The issue that we have.
But
is that
I think we're
Hold on,
negating
Sharif.
all.
Hold on, Sharif. Let Batman.
We
Go
brought
ahead, Batman.
Ingle to help the run game, but Ingle's jobs are going to be full helping Austin Jackson. That's going to be the issue that I got.
Austin
That's
Jackson
gonna
don't
be the
need
issue.
no help.
Just
Y'all gotta
remember,
relax.
Just
Y'all
remember,
gotta
I am the
relax.
king. Okay, I am the king. So I am the king. Vonjo's not the king. Okay, so let that stick in Vonjo's head.
Hey, Vonjo has already stated that he's not coming on here
Oh
because
yeah,
so don't even
he's
address Vonjo.
boycotting.
Don't even address Vonjo. Don't even worry about
But
Vonjo, Alex.
What were you saying, Batman? Because
I don't
Batman
think
was
Alec
saying
Ingold
something.
is gonna help out Austin Jackson a lot because I think Austin Jackson is gonna develop into his own Batman.
Who said that?
I think he's going to improve.
I said he's going to help.
I think all.
Who said Ingle will help Austin Jackson though? Who said that?
I'll tell
Nobody
you
here
this:
said
it's
that.
going to take some time because Austin
Let's be
Jackson
clear.
does not look.
Batman said
Austin
that
Jackson does not look like
Ingle's
an
gonna help
upgrade
out
from Jesse
Vonjo.
Davis right now. Right now, he doesn't look like an upgrade over Jesse Davis.
Let's be
Can
clear.
he be? Yes.
What we
No,
found
Batman.
out.
What are you talking about,
What
Batman?
we
I'm
found
telling you
out
what I've
this
seen,
weekend.
Alex. What do you mean what I'm
He's taking
talking
a
about?
huge step forward. He's been positive this
What-
entire camp.
What we have heard over this weekend is.
But I know I specifically said Ingle's
Never
job is
mind.
to
Keep
knock
going.
away the middle linebacker. That's his job. It's not going to be where you get behind the line of scrimmage and stop us for a 3-yard loss anymore. Because Ingle, in a strong side or weak side or I formation,
Just smelling that,
Ingle
Steven.
is going to be there. Ingle is the sixth person to block. That's Ingle's job. He's helping all the O-linemen, not Austin Jackson. He's helping all. His job is to get to the second level. If you watch, you guys got to watch McDaniel's scheme. His job is to get to the second level. That's Ingle's job. And if he does that, it's going to be 7-yard runs. I'm telling you.
I love you, level 2.
Okay.
But
Well, I say-
hold on. I want to respond to Batman.
I don't know if
real
that's 100% correct, Sharif.
Sharif,
I've looked at a lot of stuff, and this zone scheme that we're running, it requires fundamentals to be implemented on like their first 3 steps. After that, it's just find a hat and block and find somebody to block, and it's basically given the option for the tailback to pick any of the holes from A to D, all the way, so that's you basically got 4 holes to pick from.
Okay, on that note, would you agree that is Juszczyk better than Ingle?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Juszczyk, I think, is better than Ingle, but not
Yeah,
by
I think
now that said, hold on.
I'm not discrediting the.
Hold on now. With that said, though, if we know Juszczyk is better than Ingle, if we know Juszczyk is better than Ingle, then that means if we watch what Juszczyk did in their offense, I think Ingle can do just the same. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is, I think his internet went bad. But I think Ingle's job is to do the same thing in the San Francisco offense, which is to knock off either the weak side linebacker or middle linebacker. And when you see that Juszczyk gets to the second level, that's where you see Mostert, and that's where you see all of these guys break these long runs for San Francisco. And when me watching the tape so much, what concerns me the most, believe it or not, is when these guys cut, because it's a zone blocking scheme. When these running back cut and dig their leg into the ground and cut up field for these big runs, they pop their own Achilles. They tear their own ACLs. That's why they lost 6 running backs by week 9. And that's why Deebo Samuels had to play. They didn't create Deebo Samuels. Deebo Samuels was a circumstantive move. We would have had to do the same thing with Lynn Bowden if all of our running backs went down. So my point is that this offense.
Hold on real quick. Let me just interrupt for 1 second. Level 2 noob, to answer your question, you can only do panel votes on people that are fans of other teams. Otherwise, you just have to do a straight. If you want to get somebody off the panel, you just have to, 10-minute timeout. Day ban, whatever. So only time you ever do panel votes is for fans of other teams that are on the panel, and then it has to be my majority.
Right. So that concerns me the most is the cutting, the guys putting their foot to the ground and cutting up these big holes, and then tearing their own ACLs or Achilles or something. because that's how the running backs hurt themselves for San Francisco last year, believe it or not. Because there will be big holes, and when these guys see those holes, they're gonna freaking cut up field. That alone, it takes power and torque on your ACL and meniscus.
What something that goes into that with Ingold and all that. I understand him picking up in the middle and all that, but I think we need to wait and see with this offensive line because simply when I watch these big plays, I watch the offensive line. I go back, I slow it down, all that good stuff. I see all that stuff.
Actually, I watch use check, and I'm seeing the same thing that Engel will be able to do.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like in Austin Jackson.
But you're concerned about five people. Once the fullback knocks off the middle linebacker, that's the second level. What more do you want?
I'm not concerned.
Steven, am I correct?
That.
I mean, I think that at the end of
Is
the day,
anybody listening to what I said?
Go ahead, Rashad. Go ahead and answer real quick.
Go ahead.
I don't think Rashad was talking about that.
I'm saying we're worrying about it right now. We shouldn't be worried until the regular season. We're seeing a defense. We're implementing stuff with our defense. TD told us that we've been running 5 defensive linemen all week.
Yes.
And then this weekend we ran 4.
Oh, because that's what Tampa does.
And then we look different.
Yeah. That's the replica of Tampa's defense. Yeah.
We just started implementing the 0 blitz. We're trying to get back to that.
Because we're practicing to do it to them.
Sharif, you're gone for 10 minutes, bud. Sorry, man.
But what
was that about? Why was Sharif gone? He didn't.
I don't know. I don't make the rules. I just enforce them.
I think it's only for people that
just take a break.
Ahead,
just breathe about it. No, you good. You good. I was just saying I'm not panicking about nothing right now.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
It's the preseason, it's training camp.
It's not time to panic, but man, I told you yesterday, Steven, on your show,
so
bro.
Much?
Like they're just trying to get these guys' fundamentals down, and I'm telling you, like it's not going to be perfect right off the bat.
That's why, like when TD said to the thing, we're running X defense or whatever defense, right? I'm like, well, I don't think they're going to show us offense or defense that much either way.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Vanilla. He vanilla both ways. He
also said yesterday that pretty much nobody has approved under this coaching staff as well. And in my opinion, that's not true.
All right, I might make the rules, guys. I might make the rules.
To say nobody's improved is like
under this coaching staff, but that's not true. That's exactly
I think people have improved. Look, here's the reality. When TD's telling me, and I'm just throwing TD out as the example, so I hope TD doesn't take offense to this, but when TD's sitting here telling us, hey, look, I believe, that's how he's viewing the team, right? He's trying to take everything and encompassing it as a whole. I also believe that TD, to a certain extent, as much as he doesn't want to say it is, I think he has to bring, I think it's standard for Dolphin fans. No, I don't think he misunderstands. I think he brings
not him.
I think he brings prior, he brings in past things. TD's going to disagree with me on this. I'm just telling you my perception of how TD views it. TD might totally disagree, and he probably does. But I think that as a fan, you can't, we're going to be so over focusing, hyper focusing on the O-line, because we just haven't seen a good one here, right? So Daniel, who's only covered the team, is going into a second year. He is going to look at it from a less objective point of view than the way TD or myself will. That's just the reality of the situation. So if I'm hearing from Daniel that, hey, the offensive line looks like they've improved from last year, I believe that. And I'm not sitting here saying that TD's saying a lie or anything. I'm just sitting here saying at the end of the day, TD's looking at it as a hyper-focused viewpoint because we haven't seen what a good offensive line has looked like in 20 years here. That's real. So is that do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree with that?
Well, I agree. We haven't seen the top O-line in a while. I think the O-line has improved. From last season, based on based on some of the things I've been hearing, that Austin Jackson's taking a huge step forward. Connor Williams, even though he has the snap issues here and there, he's still a solid piece at the center position. Again, we can't judge.
I don't know if he's a solid piece at the center position yet. I still think that the book is still out on that. But I think that it's fair for me to say that as a fan, which we all are, except for Mark. Okay, as a fan, we hyper focus on things that we know have been a historic issue with this team.
I gotta say this though, Steven, real quick, because everybody is look, man. Unless you know this scheme and what they're supposed to do when they're running the ball, you really don't know what you're looking at. I'm telling y'all, it all has to do with footwork first. Then you get the blocking down in your reps. So I'm telling you right now, it might look bad, but I think the more that they have reps, eventually, I think these guys that we have on, with this front five that we have, I'm not saying it's perfect, but I mean, I'm telling you because I've seen improvement in Austin Jackson. I'm not saying he might prove me, he might actually, make me look stupid. But from what I've actually seen, I'm telling you, I'm seeing like that he's the fundamentals are there for him in this scheme. The position that I'm most concerned with is the center. Like if you can move Connor back to left guard and go get a center, I think that's the ideal move right now. Just go get the center. Don't play around. Unless we don't know what.
But then again, what center are you going to find out there right now? You're not going to find a decent center.
Well, Brad. They're saying that Minnesota wants J.C. Treader. If they do, they got Bradbury as their backup center. Bradbury is pretty good. We would immediately if we were to bring Bradbury in here. Can I finish?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I said I was gonna. If we bring Bradbury in here, we'd immediately upgrade the entire offensive line. You'd have Dieter as a depth guy. You could have him as basically a rotational guy, all inside, because Dieter can play guard. He can play left, right, center.
Estefan, I would be very upset as a Dolphins fan if we had a chance to go get J.C. Treader. Don't get him. He signs with the team, and the person they replace him with comes.
There's some problems with that guy though, because I'm telling you, I wouldn't have my guy getting him.
Treader does not practice.
What you said for a second. I want you to think about what you just said for a second. You said a free agent who is available right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That mean nothing.
Okay. And
Steven, what do you think he hasn't signed yet?
What do you think he hasn't signed? He signs with X team.
Okay.
Right?
Hang on real quick. Let me drop more context to what I said before.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I would be very upset.
I know because let me Steven, if you would not have gone down that rabbit hole if you let me add context to what I said.
Okay, go ahead.
If you listen. So he does have an injury history, right? And on top of that, I believe he's the president of the Players Union.
Yes, he is.
So that means there would actually be conflict on like how we can practice and stuff. If this guy was on the roster, that's another reason.
No.
Hold on. That's actually part of the reason why other teams haven't signed him, man. It's like
that's the guy's point. You keep saying no, Steven. Esther has a point right now.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. Let Minnesota sign him. Get Bradbury. Bradbury is their center. He's would be
younger
an upgrade.
Yeah,
he'd be an upgrade.
Why would Steven, with all the stuff we got going on right now, why would you want the police in our building? J.C. Treader is basically the police. Why would you want that here?
Okay, so
hold on, Steven.
I don't see how that don't make sense, man.
You all are sitting here because so are we doing something wrong that we're not?
Because why hasn't Treader signed yet? Why hasn't he signed yet? Obviously, there's something wrong with him.
I'm not even into that at this point. I need to address what Andrevius
because Bradbury's younger.
Hold on, Alex. I'll get to you in a minute. I got to deal with Andrevius and Estefan first. Y'all are sitting here talking about we don't want to let the police. What are we doing? Like
Listen, he's gonna
Sometimes,
regulate.
listen. What happens behind closed doors in practice, what you don't want is a player telling coaches how they can run practices. That's exactly what would happen if you bring in the president of the players union, bro. You're talking about how physical you can be in practice, how long you can run practice. No, bro. I'd rather stick with Dieter. I'd rather have Dieter and let him get his reps, bro, than deal with somebody trying to micromanage the coaches, man.
So two things that I have so many issues with what you guys are saying. Number one, if the Dolphins
you don't want to win.
No, it has nothing to do with that. If the Dolphins were doing
do you want to win, Steven?
Yes, I
do. You want to win?
Estefan, listen, Estefan. Let me talk.
Oh, let him talk.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Steven.
If Estefan, if the Dolphins were doing anything wrong in practice with how they were going, you don't think that one of these players are going to call up the NFLPA and say, "Hey, look, we're doing something wrong here"? I'm sure there are plenty of men of integrity on this football team that would do that. Okay.
Hey, bro. Maybe they don't know all the details. A little 30 minutes or more of practice ain't gonna hurt nobody.
Players Association. That Estefan, I love you. You're my brother from another mother. That's the stupidest take I've ever heard. Okay,
bro. We don't need a micromanager to micromanage everything these coaches are doing, bro.
And Epps is right.
Why is that?
Trevor wants a lot of money.
Timeout. Why is that even a thought process that is occurring in your brain right now? Because look, here's the thing. I said at the end of the day, and I hate to bring this up because we're gonna go down a rabbit hole, but it's worth noting. This is the thought that I'm telling you. I don't have a viewpoint one way or the other about how Stephen Ross chose to go about trying to win as a football team, right? I just wanted everybody on the same page. And that was the problem. You know what? That was the problem with what he said, right? That was the problem, or that was the problem with what happened. He didn't have everybody on the same page. But I will say, as a viewpoint, a mentality within that building, if your mentality is that, you know what, we need to cheat to win, like, bro, why are we this shouldn't it? There is
Steven,
a side of me that does.
You're barking up the wrong tree, bro.
Hold on,
listen,
bro. No, I'm not
real
barking
quick,
up the
man.
wrong tree. Because, bro,
you are.
No, I'm not.
Steven, cheating is one thing. Being
is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Yes, that's how I feel about what
At no
Estefan
point,
said.
And you're
in
wrong.
your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Yeah.
See, the thing about it is, I don't even feel like we have to worry about breaking practice rules with McDaniel as head coach. But I feel like having the president of the players union, he is going to critique down to the T everything that is done at practice, and it's not going to be a conducive environment. I'm telling you, you don't want that type of thing. You don't want that breathing down your neck when you're trying to.
According to you and Estefan, JC Tretter, part of the reason he's not being signed is because he's the police, because he's the NFL.
Well, that was my term. That was me paraphrasing what Estefan said.
Real quick, bro. Give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. Let me cook real quick. Please don't cut me off. Listen, bro. I don't come from the school of morality. I don't care about morals in this game. I want to win. I don't care that Stephen Ross tried to cheat and got caught. I don't care about the whole Flores ordeal. They're trying about tanking or any of that. They're trying to win. I don't care. Do what you got to do, however you got to do it. I don't care that the Patriots cheated. I don't care. Do what you got to do. I'm telling you, look, if what you got to do is put in extra work to get better, I don't want a micromanager there, bro. Plain and simple. If they need to practice an extra 30 minutes a day,
there's no even question of it. There's not even a question of it right now.
30 minutes a day, an extra 30 minutes a day here and there. I don't care. I don't need the morality police from the players union to be telling these coaches what to do in practice with their practices. Point blank, period, bro.
Too many snitches have been in this facility already. We don't need any more. You know, we got rid of one. Let's not bring another.
I laughed at that's y'all's mindset. I'm sorry. I just think y'all are funny. I'm just, yeah. I got
We'll be
you.
real.
Most
people seem to agree with me and Damian, Steven. You're the only one who support the police right now.
Hey,
You know
man.
why I feel so peaceful? Because all we have to do is run the ball well Wednesday against Tampa, and it comes out that we did, and it comes out that this one pancake, this one Engel does his job, and then we don't have this discussion next week. Because Saturday we'll run the ball through them.
There's a chance.
I'm gonna tell you now.
You realize we would we would forget we had this conversation if we run the ball against Tampa Wednesday and Saturday. We will forget all about this. We will be raving about how we'll have 2,000-yard running backs. Hey, that's the funny part about this. But go ahead.
You will not be able to run the ball versus Devin White. I'm letting you know now. So don't be upset when it comes out that we got 10 yards rushing in all the scrimmages.
Keith, your thing was at 11:03. I actually brought him back late. It was 13 minutes, so it was longer than 10. Keith.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't deal with y'all on this. The fact that y'all are thinking. No, there's no.
If the Vikings get Treader, right, and they cut Bradbury or they want to trade Bradbury, he's only 27 years old compared to a 31-year-old injury-prone center. So you go the route of trying to get younger on the O-line because
y'all
if you get younger,
no, this is I'm not talking about. This is my problem with y'all right now, and I have a huge one with you. You don't want J.C. Treader. This is the point of it, the crux of it. You don't want J.C. Treader because you believe he's going to snitch about something that probably
that's not what I said.
No, I'm just telling you. If you're attached with them, then you're implicated in this as well, Rashad. I am saying that you guys are sitting here telling me that you don't want J.C. Treader because he's the NFLPA president, and as the NFLPA president, it is his job to snitch if something is going wrong. And that's a big if, the Dolphins are doing anything, we don't want another snitch in here. That's what you're saying? Make it stop.
That is one of the things. That's not the only thing. That's not the only thing.
I would take Treader for the right price.
Y'all are killing me, man.
So here's the thing, Steven. That's not the only reason, but that's one of the many reasons I don't really want Treader.
You're trying to tell me.
I'm telling you, I don't want a snitch who doesn't practice with bad knees. Absolutely not. Who wants a lot of money? No, I don't want that.
Y'all forgot that part.
He always misses practice, man.
I forgot he wants the bag.
He got bad knees. He don't practice. He's a snitch, and he wants the bag. No, thank you.
And I heard that he didn't want to come to Miami to begin with because he don't like the weather. So
that too. He's turned down multiple contract offers because he wants the bag. He wants a long contract. He wants a. I ain't gonna say he wants a max, but he wants a real.
Hey, J.C. Treader last year. We talking about practice. I wish I had. We talking about that man started every game last year. Shut up about practice.
What does that have to do with
last year?
We're talking about the game.
You want to know why he could play? You want to know why he could play, Steven? Because he didn't practice. Because he didn't practice. Because he didn't practice.
The last 20 years.
If he comes here, he has to practice because he has to learn a new scheme.
Shut that weak crap up
so
right
what
now.
You're saying is,
don't even talk to me. Don't even talk to me.
Bro, let J.C. Treader come here, bro, and some locker room stuff come out. We're all going to be pointing the finger at you.
Talking about he don't play.
It's be your fault, bro. Because you got this platform, and you're over here promoting that you want to snitch on your team.
He has fresh knees, Steven.
On his team. You're creating a false narrative that isn't even true. Because you think he's the NFLPA, he's a snitch? That's a stupid thing. Whoa, you guys. I need to calm down.
He's a snitch with broken legs, bro.
You was a hall monitor at elementary school, wasn't you? And you wanted everybody to think you wasn't a snitch.
In a nutshell, he's a snitch with messed up legs that don't like to practice and doesn't like our weather. Is that enough for you? Do you like that? Are you happy?
Explain to me why he's a snitch. Because he's the NFLPA president?
Because he's a hall monitor like you was.
y'all. I'm sorry, y'all.
Where your
Y'all
safety
are.
patrol vest? Where your safety
What you
patrol
just
vest at?
said
I know you got
is
one.
one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent
Oh
response
God, Steven, come
were
on,
you
man.
even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
So Steven wants an injury-prone center under the center for the
An
Dolphins.
injury-prone center that played all 17 games
Okay.
last year. Thank you. Shut that weak crap up. That man played all
A
games
30,
last year.
a 31-year-old center. Remember,
And the year
30-year-olds
before.
don't progress; they regress.
Steven,
At
why
30
do
years old,
you
bro.
think it's taking him so long to get a job?
Seriously, that's a great question, Andre. That's why.
By the way, I just want you to
No,
know that
Answer the question.
no. That man hasn't missed a game since 2017.
I'm not talking
Okay,
about him missing
man
games.
has
but again,
Why
look
do
at
you
his age,
think
Steven.
he hasn't
His
been
age,
signed yet?
Steven.
The
His
season
age.
kicks off in a month. Why hasn't he been signed yet?
Because he's a veteran.
What?
Because he's old.
And he wants
He's
the
old.
bag. He's waiting for the y'all.
And you want to give him the
old.
bag. You
So
want
you
to be.
think? So you
for
think?
anything. He's trying to reach for anything right now.
So
You
you think we
officially
should give him
convinced
the
me,
bag?
bro.
Is
I'm
what
going
you're
to
saying.
start the let JC Treader sign to Minnesota, sign Bradbury to Miami train. I'm going to start it, bro. I'm going to start tagging people on Twitter, bro.
And that's the
I
Finn.
don't want
That's the
Treader.
Finn.
No.
That's the Finn. That's a clown take up here, and that's going to be a clown take on Twitter too. I'm just going.
Hong Kong, baby.
Hey,
Hong
Steven,
Kong.
Steven,
Yeah, and it'll be a clown take when it translates to the field, baby.
What are you talking about?
Steven.
He's played every game since 2017.
Okay, watch your broke knee snitch go down in game 1 over there in Minnesota, bro.
Steven. He's never played in this type of scheme. He would have to practice. He doesn't practice.
Okay, but that's a totally
Why
different
cry,
argument
Steven?
than
Why
what you're
cry?
saying. If you want to sit here and argue with me, hey, JC Treader doesn't fit this scheme, I will at least sit here and hear
No,
that
I think he can learn the scheme. He's talented enough to learn the scheme, but he doesn't want to because he doesn't want to practice.
Treader isn't conducive. It won't work here in Miami because he's the NFLPA president, which apparently to you guys
That's
makes
not
him
the
a
only
bitch.
thing, Steven. Stop it.
No,
Steven, you're just. We gave you a list of reasons. We gave you a list of reasons that you're focusing on one. You're focusing on one of the many reasons.
You guys want to hear my reasons about this thing?
No, I want to sit here and talk about how
nobody wants to give him the bag.
I'm so mad at y'all. You know what? I'm not mad. I'm disappointed in you guys. I'm
think the
disappointed
Dolphins
in all of you.
You think the Dolphins haven't done their due diligence with JC Treader?
I'm disappointed.
You see what we're doing with our offensive line. You thought they sat there and said, "Oh, JC Shredder's out there. He wants this amount of money, and we have this amount of money. Let's just
JC
give it to
Treader
him."
is better than, I would go as far to say maybe even Mike Pouncey, but I'll debate it, is better than any center we've had in the last 15, maybe 20 years.
Oh, God. Are you serious? Are you serious right now?
I would take Mike Pouncey over JC Treader, especially in this scheme, any day of the week. Any day of the week.
I said, all right, so with the exception of Mike Pouncey, he's better than any other center we've had.
But why are you putting an exception on Mike Pouncey? Like, why do we have to do that?
Steven,
Hold on. I don't have much time. I gotta get it out quick. I gotta get it out quick. Hold on, Steven, let me tell you. No, I don't have much time, bro. They're gonna kick me out. Listen to me, fellas.
Give me 3 seconds.
Steven, if JC Treader is a snitch, that's exactly who I want in the building. And I'm not even making this up. Listen to what I'm telling you, Steven.
Get this hall monitor off the
Steven,
show.
Steven,
Somebody
hold
pay to
on,
get this
Steven.
hall monitor
If this
out of
guy,
here.
listen, if y'all let me finish before they kick me, I would understand. I need
You're
Jesse
fine.
Treader here today, right now. And the
We
reason why
understand that.
I say that, because I need him snitching and telling me if Tua's working out, practicing. What is he doing in the locker room?
I hate
Is
you
he?
so much.
I need the information from Treader. We need Treader even more now.
That's a great take, Pete. We love that.
We
love
need
that.
him.
We're
begging for Treader now.
We just created
We agree.
fake
I agree
news,
on that,
fake
Pete.
news. We just created a false narrative about J.C. Tretter. You know how stupid this
No, Steven. Watch this. Watch this, Steven. Anybody here refuse Tretter? Will anybody say no to Tretter? We don't want Tretter at all. Anybody on the panel?
Apparently, every single person.
Wait.
Because he's a snitch.
Listen.
I don't.
The fact that me and Rashad both said he wants too much money, and we would do it for the right price.
Steven, the fact he doesn't have to practice like Mike Pouncey and keep his eyes on everybody, making sure they're working. I like that idea. I really do.
No. He makes sure they don't work too much. That's what he wears.
He's gonna bring a spy kid in, and we're gonna lose all our picks next year.
There wouldn't be extra reps with Tua and Gesicki at the practice. We would
listen. You think Kyler Murray is the only guy that goes home and plays video games too much? We already heard it out of Tua's mouth. He goes home, and the moment he enters those doors, he's thinking Netflix. We need Jesse Tretter.
He
doesn't get paid to work at home.
If we know, right? Jared, I don't even get Pete's take. You have to be Dolphins fans to remember this. Jimmy Johnson tried to tell us that Jarris McPhail and John Avery will do well, right? Let's translate that to McDaniel. He's telling us that Austin Jackson and the other kid will do well, right? Eichenberg, right? If we believe Jimmy and we found out how Jarris McPhail and John Avery did, he was touting them. They were trash. McDaniel is touting Eichenberg and Austin Jackson. What you guys are saying is, if we go 1-4 out the gate, they could have fixed this a long time ago. And what I'm saying is, Engel is going to solve all of that because that's our scheme. I think you guys think that we have the same running scheme.
Tretter just signed the Minnesota
running scheme. We have a San Francisco
running
scheme.
Are you serious?
Which impacts the fullback.
No, but I wish I was, because I just want to see the look on Steven's face.
So I don't want Tretter.
That's not true. So.
I just want Engel to get to the second level like he always does and block that middle linebacker. That's really all I want.
Sharif, you know what, Sharif? I like you. You know that, right? You're my guy. But at the same time, I'm so sick and tired of always hearing you talking about this running game, bro. Like, I'm tired of this whole organization. I'm tired of the beat reporters. I'm tired. I don't want to hear. I'm glad we have no running back. We want passing. We want big plays, Sharif.
Offensive line. And what I'm saying is, if you watch the film before we hired McDaniel, you'll see Juszczyk getting to the second level. Don't watch the running backs. Watch Juszczyk chip and get these freaking linebackers out of there. That's what you need to watch. This is why Reason says you guys don't watch film. This is why EM says you guys don't watch freaking film.
They don't.
You can watch the film, bro.
I don't want to watch film, Sharif. I gotta lie.
They could go eat their film for breakfast, bro.
I don't work for the Miami Dolphins. I don't have to watch film. Screw y'all. Eat a dick.
And this is why you want somebody because you don't know your own
Swear jar. Don't tell him again. Swear jar.
What do you mean?
No, it's foolishness. Y'all keep saying that stupid shit. Like, it's stupid.
Listen, Sharif, what you don't understand is I understand what our offense wants to be.
No, you don't even know who
Sharif, can you please?
Who's Juszczyk? Who's Juszczyk?
Sharif, I don't care about the 49ers offense, okay? The 49ers did not draft Tua.
So what you're saying is you don't know yet. You don't know what we do.
Sharif,
so you don't know what to expect.
Let me tell you what I do know. Let me tell you what I do know.
Based on data.
Juszczyk is probably going to be getting moved off of that offense pretty soon now that they translated to Trey Lance.
That has nothing to do with what I ask you. What I ask you is,
they're going to change that offense. So less Juszczyk in the 49ers. That's what they want to do now. Less Juszczyk, okay? And now let me explain so you can understand.
I don't care if he won't be on that team. His job, if you watch the film, if you watch the All-22, it's him who helped the offensive line of San Francisco, not the 5 linemen. It's him blowing up middle linebackers. You guys continue to want more linemen when it's the fullback who's impressive in this offense.
Okay, I don't want to hear
you don't understand
taking
that.
out
You
a
all
fullback
don't. You
on
all
a pass
don't
play.
understand that.
I don't want that. You know what I want? I want Chase Edmonds. I want Chase Edmonds hitting him with a little 2-piece route, getting open on that linebacker. That's what I want. You think
that's fine.
Get that? We don't want fullback talk over here, buddy. We don't want it.
Look, you
We
gotta
want
face it,
big
man.
plays,
Look,
highlight reel
over
worthy
here,
like I
plays.
buddy.
said,
We got
I
Tyreek
respect
and we
Rob
got Waddle.
Conrad and I respect Lusaka Polite. They're not even close to Ingle. We paid him
Flip
this
side
money to block.
mission, Sharif. You got it. Using reason as credibility. You're gone, bro. Blasphemy. All right. Well, you're gone for 10
Hey,
minutes,
look.
Sharif.
Bye, Sharif. We don't want fullbacks, bro. We want big plays. 65-yarder. How did you guys feel about that 65-yarder that Tua threw and made the Tua haters like me say, "Oh my God, we're gonna be eating crow soon"? Well, how did Tua make you feel? Did he make you feel great?
You answer the question first.
Doesn't
You
that feel
answer that.
better? Doesn't that feel better than a fullback block and a 12-man personnel trying to get 2 yards?
You need the running game. You need the running game to have a steady, balanced offense to be good. Okay?
In theory,
you need a
but
balanced,
in the
you need a balanced
last
offense.
out of the seven of the last 10 Super Bowl champions were not balanced by definition because they was more than 60% pass ratio. Stop it.
Alex, let me tell you something, Alex. Alex, let me tell you something, Alex. 6 months ago, this team was built to pass to run. 6 months ago, this entire team was built pass to run. That's what they were built for. Now, 6 months later, we got McDaniel. Now it's the opposite. But we only got like 3 or 4 new guys. So you think those 3 or 4 new guys is going to convert this team? And matter of fact, the guys that we did get make the pass to run work even better. So why are we talking run? We got Tyreek Hill. Doesn't he open up the run? So why are we using the run to open up Tyreek Hill if his skills open up the run himself?
Exactly.
The running game makes
I'm
the
gonna have to
pass
agree
game
with
better.
Pete on this one. Like I
the
said,
running
my
game-
original ratio
the
was
running
60-40, and that's been the
running
mantra of the
game
league for the
makes-
last decade.
The running
And it
game
ain't
makes the
changing.
pass
It's
game
gonna
even
vary
better.
game by game. It's gonna vary. Sometimes
The running game. If you're
But at
able
the end
to
of the
run the
day,
ball,
Batman, that ratio will be more closer to 60-40 at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Just like the Rams showed you in the Super Bowl when that running game was putrid. And what happened?
Pete wants
a two-man
90-10.
offense led them to Super Bowl victory.
the Rams actually
Pete,
ran the ball
do you
pretty
want
well.
90-10 passing?
To be
No,
honest
they
with you.
didn't, Alex. Stop it. Look
want
at the Rams
90-10? Are you
statistics
kidding
in the
me?
playoffs.
Cam
That running game was horrible.
Pete, do you want 90-10, Pete? Is that what you want, 90-10 passing?
If you want my answer, I would prefer a 65-35 or 60-40. As long as you're passing more to open up the run.
You can't win the game.
This team is built to pass more. You know what I want to see? I want to see.
I want to win the fucking game.
He is making sense, guys.
Move it fast.
You're not
move it fast. Make it happen quick. Open it up.
I'm sorry. You're not going to win the game if you pass all game long. If you continue to pass,
He's not saying pass. No one's saying pass all game long. The ratio is 60-40. By definition, out of every 10 plays, you throw the ball 6 times.
Yeah, 60-40.
Eventually, at some point, it does need to get to 60-40. It does. I understand, what people are saying about the run game. I get that. It might start off 40, 40-60, and then 50-50. But eventually, it needs to get a 60-40 because that's the way this league is.
We run up the score on teams, and we got to run the ball and pound the ball to end the game.
That's like what I'm saying. Like you have to have a balance. You have to have a balanced offense to win games.
Yeah, but Alex, you fail to realize that the NFL in the last decade has defined that balance to be 40.
I hear what you guys are saying, and I understand it completely. I just think that in order to win this, you have to have a balanced offense.
Okay, tell the Kansas City Chiefs, the Rams, and the freaking Buccaneers who had that same ratio of 60-40. How did that work out for them?
Thank you, Crypto.
The Bucs actually ran the ball pretty well. So did the Chiefs.
Yes, but they still ran the ball only 40% of the time on the way to winning the Super Bowl.
They also have Pro Bowl quarterback.
Miami Dolphins is defense. Don't you want to control the ball, control the clock? Because look at the teams that you're playing.
Exactly.
You got to play the Bills twice, the Packers, the Chargers.
And
Not
it
so much
don't
the
work,
Ravens,
and
the
that don't
Bengals.
work when
You
those
got to
teams come down
control
and
the
light
ball.
you up. Just like when I'm gonna give you an example. When we played the
That has
Colts, when
nothing
they
to
had
do with
Peyton
our
Manning,
offense.
we had the ball more than 40% of 40 minutes to the Colts only had the ball 19 minutes, and they still beat us.
Yep.
Because they struck quick.
Yeah.
They
I
put
remember
a lot
that
of
damn
points on the board
game.
very
I
fast.
But
remember that
also,
game.
but also, a lot
What does that
of
mean?
our
That didn't
losses,
mean nothing.
a lot of our losses.
85-yard touchdown to Dallas Clark to begin the game.
That's all it took.
Wait. Y'all
So
talking
this
about other
dream that you got to
offenses.
kill the clock is nonsense when the opponent's got a quick strike offense.
No, I'm
So
saying play complementary
wait.
football. Let your defense play.
But
And if
that's
you need a quick
never,
strike,
ever
you have
worked
Hill, you have Waddle.
against high-powered offenses.
It has worked. We just seen the Patriots run the ball 90 times and pass it 3 times to beat the Bills.
That's
Let's
only one.
not.
That's an outlier. One game because they had to, because it was a $3 million an hour win in the stadium.
Yeah,
They
Did
wouldn't
it
have
work?
done that if it wasn't for the win condition.
Did it work?
It worked for
That's
that game
an
because
outlier.
Buffalo wasn't.
Okay. I don't care what you want to call it.
Because
It
they
worked.
played against the team that couldn't play to their strength. The Buffalo
be clear.
Bills couldn't play to their strength.
Steven.
Are we gonna
So it took
Buffalo?
an act of God. It took an act of God to help the Patriots out, just so the Buffalo Bills could be handicapped.
So what you're saying is we need to be a 65, 70 pass
I'm still on
offense to
how
run
we've created a false
to
narrative.
beat the Bills and Chiefs. Is that what we're gonna do?
Absolutely. Because the Tennessee Titans ain't gonna beat those teams, and the Browns ain't gonna beat them teams by running the ball. They got the same remote controls. That at the end of the day, they're holding a remote control come Super Bowl time, just like you and I was.
I want to make a point. The Tennessee Titans hammered Kansas City and beat Buffalo with a dominant running game.
They didn't do that in the playoffs.
Don't do it, Mark. We're just
They
talking
didn't do
right
it in the playoffs. Who was at the end of the day? What team was in the playing for the Barney Trophy at the end of the day?
Okay.
I don't miss me with these outlier games.
The Bengals and the Rams, 60-40.
And
Exactly. Thank you,
Cincinnati,
At the end of the day,
Cincinnati had a
what
1,000-yard
pair of
rusher.
teams was playing for the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the day?
Hey, is there any truth? Is there any truth to that comment
had a
about
1,000-yard rusher?
Is there any truth
Cincinnati
about
has
that
a
comment about
1,000-yard rusher.
Mekhi Becton missing half the season? Any truth to that comment, Steven?
Actually,
He's done for the year.
He looked bad yesterday.
Apparently he's done for the year.
Yeah, that injury was. Hey, I know he's a Jet, but hey, I hope he gets a hopeful recovery, man, because that injury looked brutal. It looked brutal.
We lost a piece of his knee.
The Jet fans are actually pretty happy that he's done for the year.
They're happy that their own player got hurt, dude. That's
Guys,
messed up, dude.
My man is off the injury list. What's
man.
up, Roach?
Hey.
I'm getting that.
Getting feedback.
Roach.
Yeah. Roach had COVID.
Roach, how you doing, buddy? You feeling better? I hope.
Echo?
Hey, Roach, we're getting feedback. We're getting
Why's an
feedback.
echo?
It's Roach.
Why's an echo?
Look at Rashad. Rashad, do that again, bro. He's like, I don't have me on this
COVID.
man. I don't need the word. I don't need vid.
Hey, Roach, are you vaccinated?
We're not. What are we doing here? We're not having
we're not doing the politics.
Yeah, we're not.
All right.
Alex.
Hey,
What's the big
I'm good
deal?
now.
I just asked the
Is
question.
a vaccine really a political thing?
Are you serious? That's a
Steven,
political
am I
thing?
echoing?
No, we're not echoing anymore.
Okay,
It's a medical thing.
It's a
Come on
personal
now.
question. We're not.
First
asking that
off-
up here.
Oh,
Okay.
First off,
I'm vaccinated, so what?
First
I'm
off,
vaccinated, so what?
Alex, I'm a survivor.
vaccinated.
I want my participation badge, and I want it now.
Yeah, he's been listening
Well,
to
what I'm just-
Beyonce's
I'm
Disney
just saying.
Pop Survivor all day.
I'm just saying. I'm
Checking
vaccinated. So what?
Alex.
Who cares?
Alex.
Who cares?
Alex. Thank you.
Stop
Alex.
being.
Alex.
But
Cállate
no, stop.
la chingada.
It's not a big deal.
Alex. Thank you. All right, we're done. We're good.
Hey, and I also want to say that since I've been gone,
about the offense.
Aaron,
y'all
Oh, go ahead, Roach, I'm sorry.
Aaron
Roach, I'm
Rodgers
sorry.
throwing that 50-yard bomb into that basket, his basket was smaller.
It was like an oval. It was like a little circle.
It was the same size basket. You thought
No,
it was smaller?
his name
It
is
is
not
smaller.
Aaron Rodgers.
It was smaller.
Roach, his name is not Aaron Rodgers. His name is Nicolas Cage. Okay,
Nicolas
his name is Nicolas Cage.
Hey, either way, it's a bad dude.
He's a monster.
Yeah. But anyways,
Roach, did you really come up here to say that?
Yeah.
You really want people to argue with you today.
The only thing that made my COVID feel better was weed, dude.
Was weed? That was the
Nothing else worked. Weed got me.
Love Roach.
It took my vomit away. It fixed everything.
Ew, Roach, gross.
It's not the healing of the nation.
I feel like I mean, when I had COVID, I feel like I had the easiest COVID in the world. You people who be going through it, I feel bad for it. Jesus.
I definitely had the worst.
I got all the shots though.
Andreas,
I
you know
got
how they got all these different strains? Roach had that good strain. That's what he had.
Yeah, I had COVID. I had COVID for 29 days.
Roach.
Hey,
Roach
what
had
happens?
that- Roach-
I got a question, Steven,
Roach
and you
had
might
that ninja
throw me
one.
off the panel for this. Mushrooms, right?
Nothing to throw. I like.
Okay. What if you gave a cow? What if a cow? It grows off the cow poop, right? So, what if a cow? If a cow got COVID?
What are you talking about?
So,
bro?
if a cow got COVID and you grew shrooms off of it, would it be a stronger strand?
No.
No.
Roach, is this the stuff you think of when
Yes,
you're alone?
bro. Where did you come up with this stuff, Roach?
He's on that weed right now.
I'm on it right now, dude. I'm telling you, it's the only way. It's the only reason I'm up here right now.
I agreed.
Bro, when I smoked, I never like came up. Well, actually, I did actually.
Alex, could you do it when you're sober, bro?
I could never smoke with you. You would ruin my high, bro. You probably talk too much. You probably smoke weed and keep talking.
No, actually, if
Don't
I,
do that to that man. That's the fin.
Estefan. When I'm high, bro, I
stare
make
at
you
two
laugh,
pictures
bro.
all day.
I make you laugh, bro. I make you laugh.
Hey, don't
You
lie.
smoke
Bro.
it
You be
and look
playing-
at tour pictures.
You be going to my show playing that
I would just start
You be playing
freestyling
that
out the
Tua
blue.
song.
Hey, Spike says there's been studies done on what I just said.
I'm just saying.
Hey, you ever had those taquitos from 7-Eleven?
Yes, we all have. They're actually on point. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, when I used to smoke, that's all I used to get is taquitos from 7-Eleven.
All right,
That's all I used to get.
let me hit the reset button.
Hey, reset. Okay, now,
Hey,
Roach, make
Hey,
sure you
I
play
lightened
music.
up the room.
Play the music,
lighten up
Roach.
something. Hey, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock
Listen to
Blockers
music.
right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. We got a full panel here. Some people want me to do a vote off for Mark, and because Mark's on another team, I will address it. I vote no. Mark stays on. Mark has literally
hasn't
said
even said
nothing.
Get him out of here.
for the
Let him
last
out.
hour.
Look,
What
I
do you
guess-
want from this man?
Get him out of
I've been
here.
going for about an hour now.
You don't
I mean, he's
want
not
somebody
talking.
on
He's
the
taking up a
panel.
spot. So get him out of here.
Wait for the- you can
Get him
you
out of
can
here.
change that.
Get him out of
See you
here.
later.
Steven, Mark
Get out of
said
here.
he's bringing-
Get out of
he's
here.
That's two. All right, so that's two.
Forget about it. Get him out of here.
Mark
that's
said he's
two.
bringing his silence. The Bills game.
Eliminate him.
That's three.
He's 32.
Anybody else?
Get out of here.
Well, that you already count as three, so we have three. Anybody?
No, we got
Yeah,
four. We
get him out
got
of
me, Esther, Alex, and Jack.
All right. Is there a fifth? Okay,
first
so
of all,
he
rest-
stays.
So,
he
No,
stays.
it doesn't. It's
Steven,
a
my
fact.
second
If
question.
you want him off, you got to pay to get him off.
So my second question for you guys
That
was,
is the fifth. Wait a minute, you miscounted. You didn't count everybody.
what if?
I didn't get him
All right,
vote.
I'm out. Let me- we'll go one more time. We'll go
I
around the
didn't
room.
suggest my vote.
Estefan, Mark on or off?
Get his ass out of here.
All right, for Crypto on or off?
He's off because of that nonsense Bills takes.
Okay.
Knowing about the
All right,
Patriots.
Andrevius on or off? Andrevius.
Oh, he's taking up a spot. He's not even talking. Get him out of here.
Okay.
Go, man.
I think we're at four now. Rashad on or off?
Keep him on.
Okay, thank you. I agree. Batman, keep him on or off? Keep him
him
on.
on.
Roach, keep him on or off?
Wait, am I the deciding vote?
No, you're not.
Okay, then keep him on.
Okay. All right, there we go. I vote to keep him on. That's 5. So automatically right there,
That's four. How do you jump from 3 to 5?
Okay, all right, hold on. All right, 4 and 4. All right. Jerk Jack. Who's Jerk Jack?
Finish him.
Who's reverse it, Steven? Who's
KP?
Who's that? Jerk Jack.
It's Jerk Jack from Key Largo.
You don't get it, dude?
Who's
Who's
Gary?
Say it again.
Say it again, Jerk Jack.
And I'll say it the other way.
Finish him.
That's Kahari, isn't it?
That's Kahari. Yeah, that's
All
Kahari.
right, that's 5. We need a majority.
What about yours, Steven? Where's your vote?
I said no. Who's I Am King?
Well, that's me.
So
do you vote to keep him on or off, Alex?
Alex is letting vote, right?
Say get him out of here, Alex.
You got get him out of here.
I did have a take regarding, regarding the whole complimentary football thing.
Mark, you got to go. Okay,
Hey,
Mark. I'm
that's
sorry,
fine.
Mark.
Bye.
Losing 3 Super Bowls.
Y'all be kicking up that man for no reason, not supporting the channel. Come on now, support the channel. If you want him off that bad. The man did nothing. Nothing.
Bro, he's passing on that bad juju to us, bro. They lost 4 Super Bowls in a row, bro. You don't want that up here.
That takes just as bad as your
quarterback. Their quarterback can't even walk out to the field. He has to take a scooter. He takes a scooter to practice.
Can you imagine how much debt Buffalo, like a betting man in Buffalo, is in? Like, can you imagine the amount of debt that they are in?
I'm getting destroyed right now because I was the deciding factor and freaking Basito says, "Come on, man." You know how it feels to get booted. Oh man, I feel so bad now. Oh
no, you got to feel bad. Any one of the 6 votes could have did, but is the deciding factor.
Yep. It wasn't just you; it's all of you haters. Y'all are a bunch of haters, is what y'all are. Haters.
Well,
y'all are whack.
Every the first 4 people here said he could stay. So.
You called me a hater, and I would like to tell you thank you.
He know darn well the Bills was handicapped because of that windstorm in the stadium.
Steven,
he knows damn well.
You in your interview today.
Rest in peace to Olivia Newton-John.
You said to Daniel, "I know there's things you can't comment on."
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
What?
I did.
So that made me wonder, like, what categories or stuff are they like? I don't. If you know what he can't comment on, don't say the specific. But like, what categories of stuff are they not allowed to comment on?
So they're not allowed to say first. They're not allowed to say first and like who's on what string. They're not allowed to say who's playing at at closed practices. I don't think they're allowed to say who's playing at a particular position. I think, like they're not allowed to give like certain formations. Hey, they're running, power formation. They're not allowed to, 3 wide receiver formation. They're not allowed to give anything that has to do with formations or schemes or anything like that.
So if like we had something where Skylar was
nothing
coming
strategic,
for example. Not that this is happening.
They can't say trick plays.
Trick plays. That's where I was going. That's exactly where I was going.
They're not allowed to talk about trick plays or anything like that.
You're talking about the Tampa beat writers?
No, talking about our beat writers.
Beat writers in general. Like, what are their rules?
Well, Daniel did say that Tampa's writers have very similar rules to what we have.
Yeah, but it's like Larry said yesterday. The difference is between Tampa and us is that we got 10 people, they got 2 or 3. That's the issue. So it's like, we're gonna get news. I think somebody posted it yesterday on Twitter to follow these Tampa guys because they're gonna be reporting. They're gonna be the ones at camp tomorrow and on Thursday. So just to look out for that.
Oh yeah, because they don't care about us. Yeah, they can say what they want.
They're gonna say anything.
Yeah, they're gonna say how much Tua is bad. Yeah, they're gonna say. They say Brady. Oh, Brady looks like the Brady looks great.
Hey man.
And as far as what I heard, Steven, about the game on Saturday.
You know what? I'm making a new rule too. I'm making a new rule. Okay. If somebody gets voted off,
okay,
it costs $50 today to bounce somebody. If somebody gets voted off, they can pay their way $50 a day to get back on.
Can we vote them back on?
Yeah, that's a
If
lot
they
of money,
voted
man.
on
As a panel, like as a panel, can you vote? Like the
Yeah,
chat
you
can
can
donate
Vote
50.
for somebody back on.
The chat can donate 50, but the panel can
I
revote.
think you should only be able to
Revote.
vote like once an hour or something.
Yeah.
Can Mark not have a vote?
But you should be able to pay your way back in if you can get back in.
Right.
If you voted out, but like Roach said,
If you
can you vote them back on?
but remember, the only people that can get voted are non-Dolphins fans. Everybody else you have to pay anyway.
Right.
But if a non-Dolphin fan pays his way to get back on, or her way to get back on,
So we can vote off Pete.
So be it.
I see Tua on Saturday
That was
playing
slick,
probably like 1 or
Rashad.
2 series at most. I don't see him playing the whole quarter.
So-
I see Teddy for like 2 quarters and I see Skyler for about a quarter and a half, something like that.
We don't have practice till tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
not till
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Well, supposedly, because the thing is that we don't practice with them, but I heard there's a chance that they practice separately today, the Dolphins, but not with Tampa. Tampa's
So-
practicing today by themselves.
So the scrimmage is tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
So the next 2 days. Next 2 days are
yeah, just
inter-squad
practicing
scrimmages.
once.
And they're not live.
No.
No.
I wish.
So the panel is superior, bro. The chat, Roach. Yes, the panel is superior over the chat. I'm about to get killed for that one.
What?
That I said that the panel was superior over the chat.
I don't know.
Nobody respects
I'm just
the
saying,
chat.
if the panel can vote people out, can they vote people on? That's my question.
The panel. So here's the rule. Here's the rule. If you vote somebody off, they have to be off for an hour voting wise. You can't vote again for another hour. Okay. But if somebody gets kicked off, like vote wise, they can pay $50 to get their way back in, and they can't get voted off again the rest of the day. But they can get 10-minute timeout, or they can get kicked off the monetary way. So if somebody pays $50. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think
I
that's
got one
fair.
better for you, Steve. You should put a vote in the chat, and that should be able to overpower the panel.
Wait a minute, Steven, you still didn't answer his question.
What's up?
He asked you if they can be voted back on by the panel.
Yes, they can.
Okay.
But they have to be gone for an hour.
After an hour of the initial vote, you can
After an hour
revote.
of the initial vote, you can revote. And just to clarify, okay, if they pay their way before the hour, that's fine. They can pay their way back on.
And then they can't get voted again.
They can't get voted again for the rest of that day. But if somebody comes in and says, "Hey, 10-minute timeout for this person," that's still good.
So
if
Mark
somebody says, "Hey, $50 for the day," hey, that's
you could
still
pay $50 a day and never get kicked off the show. Right?
Mark can.
Technically, in theory.
Mark can.
Okay.
That's a hell of a
He's gonna
description.
stake the whole panel to get his vote right. So I'm not gonna do that. All right, let me bring in Gio and Pete. What's up, gentlemen? What's up, Gio?
What up?
Hey, Gio.
What up? What up?
What's up, man? What's up? What's up? Can you guys hear me?
We can. What's going on?
Chilling, bro. Chilling, man. If the panel's superior from chat up here, then, bro.
Huh? What'd you say, Gio? You broke up.
If the panel is superior, that if the panel is superior to the chat, then I gotta get up here.
I know, right? That's what I'm telling people. I agree. How you been, Gio? What's going on with you, man? G, have you been listening to the nonsense this panel's been talking about this morning?
Is it me or does Gio sound really bad?
Gio sound like you're breaking up a little bit, Gio.
Yeah, he's breaking up.
Yeah,
I'm at work. My bad. Let me try and go somewhere else.
Steven,
All right.
Steven, I'm not
Sound
letting
like
you
Optimus
slide
Prime,
with
bro.
Preston Williams.
What about the
'Cause
Preston
you
Williams?
said that the Dolphins, you said the Dolphins are playing tricks with the depth chart. Trying to raise his stock is basically what you're meaning by saying that?
Yeah,
trade
100%. They put him up on the depth chart to increase his trade value. Yes, I believe that was a direct.
Did you forget
retaliation.
that he was a starter? You think
He hasn't played well the entire
starter?
preseason or the entire training camp, from what people have said.
I don't know if he hasn't played well. He just hasn't been given
guy has-
opportunities,
what
I
do you
heard.
mean? So, Steven, you haven't been listening to TD's open coverage on his show? How he's pointing out that Preston Williams is getting open, but the ball isn't thrown? It's not his fault. He's doing his job. The guy's breaking open in practice.
As he should. He's getting checked. He's getting
Preston
checked by the
Williams
second corner on the practice squad.
is being drug out by this organization like they did Kenyon Drake. And when they
Do
go
you guys hear
elsewhere,
me
they're going
now?
to be more utilized. They're going to be more utilized, and they're going to play better. The same thing is happening with Gesicki, fellas. We go back to that draft. What we were begging for is a receiving tight end. Now out of nowhere, we want to like I think the media does this to people. They like
you mean
implant
create
something
false
in the
narratives on social media platforms to say that somebody's a snitch because they're the NFLPA?
Yeah, this is
You're
exactly,
right,
and
Pete.
people will
That's
run with that.
exactly
People
what
will
we
run
do.
with that.
100%.
Listen, now
Such a
what we
false
want,
narrative.
we want Gesicki to be a top 5 run blocking tight end and force him on the line. Like that's what we drafted him for.
We're trying to make him a complete tight end, Pete. That's what it is.
Pete,
he's getting the George Kittle treatment.
man.
He's getting the George Kittle treatment.
Hold on, that's like saying, you know what? We have a bad offensive line, and we know that. And I'm sorry, Tua. If you do not start running a 4-4, I don't know what we're gonna do with you.
Tua's not here. Tua's not listening to you.
We need you to run faster, Tua, because his offensive line isn't holding on. That's like saying that. Like
Tua's not listening. Tua's not listening to you, Pete.
That makes no sense, Pete.
Tua's not listening to you.
Gio,
That doesn't make no sense.
Tua doesn't hear you. Tua doesn't hear you.
Gio,
What the hell kind of sense does that make?
2 touchdowns, okay? Gesicki should have never had 2 touchdowns last year, bro.
But Gesicki dropped one in the end zone.
And whose fault is that?
That's Gesicki's fault.
He dropped a wide open touchdown in the end zone, Pete. It hit him in the face mask.
Not Wednesday.
He dropped one touchdown.
No,
but
it's fine.
Gesicki should have got more opportunities in the red zone. I actually agree with Pete. I agree with Pete.
I'm okay.
Gesicki got a lot of
Listen, you guys need to blame God.
No. Last year?
You guys need to blame Godsey.
Never showed
You're
up
blaming
in the red
McDaniel?
zone.
No, you need to blame Godsey for last year's red zone
I'm
targets.
blaming Flo.
Nah, we can't bring up Flores. Let's not do that. We got the rule. We don't bring Flores up anymore.
Hey, listen, real quick, guys, because I got to step out. I just wanted to come up and let you guys know, because I know we were talking about the beat
tell us
writers.
your thoughts about the training camp and how
hold on.
Tell us that. That's what we want to hear.
I gotta get off, Pete. Let me say this real quick. I'm gonna say it tonight. Tonight I'm also gonna have a Bucks beat writer on the show, to give me some insight into what's gonna go on and stuff like that, and hopefully I get some questions answered. So you guys want to check it out? It's tonight at 8 Eastern. So check it out if you guys can. And you guys have a great rest of the show, man. Pete, good luck, bro.
Hey, Gio, we want to know about that Bucks D line, man.
Send me the questions, man. Send me the questions. Send me the questions, and I'll ask.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
What'd you say, Batman?
Open up the panel and let us ask. We'll terrate that guy, bro.
What'd you say, Batman?
So many questions.
That the line looks rough. They don't got JPP or Sue. We'll see. We're gonna see what that line looks like.
So if that line tears us up, that's really bad.
Oh no. Yeah, and same thing with the offensive line.
They got a young cat that's kind of
If Raekwon Davis and Zyler and these guys don't eat on Saturday, we got a real problem on this defensive line. I'll tell you that, because their interior line on the offense is struggling.
What are y'all arguing about in the chat? What are y'all arguing about in the chat?
Batman, stop it. Just stop it, Batman, please. Because
Steven, I had a question.
One preseason game is not gonna freaking determine the whole season.
Listen.
Come on,
everybody here knows.
What I'm saying is,
everybody
what we've been seeing from training camps, these guys are eating. These guys look amazing. And now you're going to tell me we're going to go into actual game action and we take a step back? Because they've been eating all training.
Yes, because it's a lot different when you're playing a real game as opposed to your own offensive line.
That's the same thing I think about Skyler. I want to see what he shows
it's going to take a little while for these guys to develop. So if the defense has a bad game in the preseason game and the whole team has a bad game, who cares? It's one preseason.
This is
no big deal.
This is the thing. If we're not going to replace Adam Butler, then that means that the current line and the current depth that we have is sufficient enough for us to go into the season. Because if we're going to use that roster spot for a Skyler or for another receiver or another running back, instead of bringing another DT to cover Adam Butler, then we definitely we need to see these guys go out.
So,
Our D line is set.
I honestly don't think that they're gonna go into the season with this very exact same team. I think they're gonna add pieces by week 1, and I think they're gonna, because they're waiting for teams to cut these players.
Yeah, but
and they're gonna pick them up.
Alex, I'm tired of waiting that waiting game. Look,
how much?
Let me ask you guys this: would you guys be willing to move Preston and a late pick, to try to go get either the Roquan Smith or the right tackle from the Bears, Jenkins? Would you guys be willing to?
No, Jenkins has back problems, so no, I'm steering as far away.
He's healthy right now, though.
From that as possible.
He is healthy.
I don't care.
What I've been told
problems
from a Bears fan is his issue is maturity and having issues with the O-line coach that they brought in. That's what I've been told. But when he's healthy, he's the best lineman they got.
I'll take Roquan Smith over that any day of the week, but I don't think the Dolphins are going to do that, because I think they're set with their linebacker core with Baker and Tyndall.
Me too. I feel the same.
So that's who I want to see playing Tyndale in this scrimmage.
Good, man.
Yeah, that's a good guy to look at.
All the stuff we've heard about him, the speed, the sideline speed the guy has, is all legit. The guy moves like a monster out there. And
I bet, man.
All right, guys.
Oh,
We're gonna go ahead.
cards?
We're gonna do final thoughts of the day. Okay. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clap Blockers right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. It was Take Tuesday, Miami Herald. We had Daniel Oyefusi on earlier. We had a mini panel this afternoon. We had takes, crazy, wild takes today. But yeah, so let's go ahead and start doing final thoughts of the day. I'll start with I will start with Crypto or Batman. Final thought of the day, Batman.
Hey guys, have a beautiful day. Have a blessed day, and thanks for having me on, Steven. Shout out to everybody. Much love, man. Have a beautiful day, everybody.
Easy, man.
Peace.
Take care, Batman.
Let's go to Crypto. Final thought of the day. Crypto. All right.
Go Dolphins.
Jack
Yeah.
Crayville.
Jack Crayville. Hey, listen, guys. Everybody's salty this time of year in training camp. It's time to get it on. We're going to face some new competition. Can't wait to see how our boys match up. This is where, when you say the rubber hits the road, you know what I'm saying? And some questions will be answered this week. So I look forward to seeing how we match up on the line, O-line, D-line. Again, Roach just mentioned Tyndall. It's a good time to see our top draft pick in action. See if he's the real deal. See what's going on with him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is it, man. I can't wait. Peace out, y'all.
Peace out, man. 49ers removed. Go ahead, Crypto.
Exactly. Hey, let's not go against the grain. The league has set a trend. The ratio is 60-40. That's the blueprint. That's the template. That's the new balance of the league. And if we don't follow that template and that balance, then we will have remote controls in our hands at the end of the season, just like the 49ers would.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
true.
What was that noise?
That was Steven's chair.
It sounded like one of what's his name's Austin Powers pumps, man. That's what it sounded
like. That was the washing machine pump.
That was the worst. That's the worst thing. What the heck, Roach?
At least you got it. Steven didn't get it.
I did. Because I'm doing 15 million other things. I'm sorry. All right, Crypto. Love you, brother. Be good, man.
Yeah, be good, Steven.
All right. Hey, just to let you all know, donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. We're like $65 away from goal today. Okay. Y'all wanted to kick people off by just,
someone says, does the chat have the same power as the panel, like voting people off? Yes.
No,
you come on the panel and you vote.
On the panel. Become part of the show.
Yeah.
You got to make the panel. Panel has to have, the panel is a big deal. That's part of what creates the content every day. So yes, they have more rights than you guys in the chat. Okay? Let's just throw it out there. You want to have some more rights, get on the panel. Become a part of the content. God. Donate to the channel. Help the channel grow.
Unbelievable, man.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
We will go with Alex. Final thought of the day, Alex. Hurry up before somebody kicks you off, so you don't get your final thought.
Nobody's gonna
hurry
kick
up,
me
Alex.
off.
Alex, hurry up.
All right, so we got Tampa this weekend.
It's coming.
So it's coming. We'll see how our boys play out on Saturday. Can't wait to see them in action. I'll be watching from Texas, and it's just even, like I say, even if they have a bad game, it's okay, guys, because it's only one preseason game. They'll bounce back, and I think by week one we'll have a complete team, and we'll be just fine. I have no concerns about this team at all. I think they're going to be just fine when the season comes. So let's stay positive, guys. And remember, as always, let's go Mets. First place,
that's
baby.
Not as always. We don't say that here.
I don't even know anybody in New York who says that.
Mets.
Actually, the Mets are the Mets are actually overtaking the Yankees. So we know that.
That's okay.
Look at the record.
Alex,
Roach.
do you wake up with these wild takes, or are they just?
No.
Are you talking about their playing?
Matt, are you talking about?
We're talking about fans. We're talking about fans.
70 and 39 right now. The Mets and Yankees have the exact same record right now.
Alex, you can't just switch up what we're talking about. If we're talking about fans, and then you talk about record, like
the Mets are overtaking New York right now.
That sucks.
The Met fans are overtaking New York.
Every New York team sucks. Every last one of them. Buffalo, New
hold
York, the Jets,
the Sabres are good.
Don't talk about the baseball. Don't talk about the baseball team because I could go all day about
Syracuse,
the Islanders.
I could go all day about the Marlins.
Listen, the Marlins have won 2 World Series, and one of them came against the Yankees. Okay,
real talk. The Mets, New York team sucks so bad that they don't even play in New York. They got to play in Jersey. That's
Not
how
all of them.
bad y'all suck.
Hey, that's the football
y'all don't
team.
even play in the same state that you're named after.
Wait,
that's the football team. That's not the Mets or the Yankees.
They all
Get out of
suck.
here. First place, my guy. First place, my guy.
Mets, Yankees,
place, my guy.
Sabres, Syracuse, Buffalo play in New York. Knicks. So that's six.
The Knicks are just a disaster.
I'll tell you what. If y'all think that every New York team sucks, hit the like button right now and donate to the channel. Donate to the channel. Donate to the channel if y'all think New York teams suck.
First place, my guy. First place.
No.
First place, my guy.
Bye, Alex. Enough out of you, sir. Enough out of that with that wild nonsense. Rashad, final thought of the day, Rashad.
I want to say everybody calm down about these reports that we're getting from the YouTubers. Trust the beat writers. I will no longer believe anything us YouTubers say or you YouTubers say.
Wait, did I miss something while I was sick?
Yeah.
No.
Give me a rundown, like a 5-second rundown.
For me, I just noticed that people are just blaming who they want to blame at this point, and I can't take it anymore. This weekend, because we don't get clock blockers on the weekend. So this weekend I had to.
So it's like regular news, depending on what channel you tune into, depends on what happened.
It's everything's to a fault. Austin Jackson got beat by Phillip, and it's Tua's fault because he didn't call out the 7 people that were blitzing. Tyreek Hill dropped the pass or stepped out of bounds. It's Tua's fault. It wasn't a good pass.
Wait, who said all this?
If you've been on Twitter, you've seen it. The last play of the game, Tua threw an interception when he had to score. He was 40 yards out of the end zone. The last play, you have to score. So he threw a bomb and Javon Holland intercepted it, which is all true.
It's 50-50 ball.
Blame Tua.
I would have no problem with that play if it was a real game. I don't think anybody would.
It was a double move route, and Tua over the receiver pretty much gave up, and Javon Holland tracked it down and picked it off.
He's like a stealth bomber, isn't he? He just
Bones
you don't hear him.
Shut up, Rashad. Bones
You don't hear Holland coming, right? You don't hear him, and you either get it
your final thoughts,
picked
Rashad.
or you get nailed by him.
But would anybody really have a problem if we were driving down the field and then on a last play effort, Tua had to throw up a 40-yarder to hopefully win the game and it got picked off? Would anybody really be mad at that?
As long as that's the only thing he's not, as long as that's not the only thing he's consistent with, then I'll be okay. Does that make sense?
I just feel like
if it's a trending thing,
Hail Marys to win the game are always going to be 50-50 balls. There's just no way around it.
It's true. Hey, Rashad.
Yeah.
Bones told you to shut up.
I heard Bones.
You gonna let Bones talk to you like that?
Bones doesn't exist either. He's an imaginary person.
Oh, he's not real. I got you. I understand.
I come to the fact that I might be a little mental. We all might be, because Bones isn't real. I don't know how we see these comments by this guy. I'm messing with you, Bones.
All right, Rashad, be good, bro.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And then there were 3. Roach, you haven't been here, so I can't let you have the final.
No, that's cool, man. I feel like crap anyways.
Go ahead. Your final thoughts, sir.
My priorities tomorrow, I'm going to watch for Tua news. And then my next priority is offensive line.
Wednesday.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, I'm listening to that, but I'm going to be watching Twitter for that. So then the O-line, and then I'm going to go Tyndall, and then probably Noah. That's what I'm going to be watching. So that's my final thought. But I'll see you guys.
Buddy. Feel better.
Later. Yep.
Feel better.
All right. Peace.
All right, Andrevius. My original number 2. Andrevius.
Hey.
How you doing?
I just want it to be known.
Get on camera. Get on camera, please.
I can't get on camera because I'm not Andrevius. I'm actually Noah Igbenogany, and I have infiltrated your show successfully.
Okay. You have. Okay.
And I've gone through the entire show without paying my swear jar fee. I just came here because I'm tired of you slandering my name because I didn't pay my swear jar. Yeah, I feel like there's no Miami Dolphins news today, so it's a little boring. Yeah, Noah's gonna ball out against the Bucks. We're gonna do great things. Tua's gonna ball out. I'm gonna lock down Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Julio Jones, whoever they put up against me. I'm gonna lock him down, and I'm gonna have Steven Eaton Crow come next week.
I hope you do, Noah. I hope you do, sir.
You're gonna be crying. Please. You're gonna be apologizing.
You're gonna be
apologizing that You're going to be apologizing that you actually entertained the idea of a 39-year-old rookie as opposed to a 22-year-old. You're going to really.
Are you talking about Benjamin Button, our third-string quarterback?
Noah? Yes. You were entertaining a 200-year-old third-string quarterback, and you let the panels take over and entertain a 7,000-year-old third-string quarterback. But you won't give my 22-year-old ass a chance. Shame on you, Steven.
Swear jar, Noah.
Shame on you.
Swear jar, Noah.
First of all, Skylar Thompson has more experience than I have been alive. These are just factual things.
Those are factual statements. Facts.
Factual statements. I am 22 years old.
Noah, do you think you're better than Xavier Howard?
I will not say I'm better than Xavier Howard, but I will say Skylar Thompson played college more years than I have been on earth. And with that note, I will say fins up. I will make this roster.
Can you tell? Hey, well, number one, you owe to the swear jar. You owe like $4, $5.
I know I owe to the swear jar. That's why you slander me so much.
Okay. You owe to the swear jar today. Could you tell the people? Could you tell Von Joe hurt my feelings? Could you tell Von Joe to come back? That I miss him so much. I miss Von Joe.
Von Joe, come back and we can talk about how I'm a better player on the defense than Landon Roberts, and they're about to trade him anyways when they get Roquan Smith. We're all good, baby. We're good.
It's all good, Von Joe. We miss you.
We solid over here.
All right, Andrevius, be good, man.
All righty.
Miami Sports Music's number one Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I hope you all enjoyed the show today. I did. Well, we had a great show. It was a lot of fun. Hope you all enjoyed it. Y'all in the chat were getting a little wild and loose and crazy. Okay, hope we understand the rules. Chat, Chat is like Lord of the Flies. They're gonna do their own thing. I get it. I understand. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. That's what I say to everybody. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Tomorrow is, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow is some sort of day tomorrow. It's a cool day. I don't exactly know what it is, but it's pretty cool. I think it is. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Hey, hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Donate to the channel. If everybody donated $1 right now, you know how far that would go and help the channel grow? Donate. I'm just saying, it doesn't hurt. There's a lot of things we want to do, and look, we need your help to do it. That's the real crux of it. You guys are the best. Tomorrow's Wildin' Out Wednesday, and it's going to be a wild show. If y'all aren't here for it, I don't know what to tell you. Cash App, PayPal. Matter of fact, I'll put it in the chat here. Y'all can donate that way. Good show today, Steven. Take care. Be safe, everyone. Omar Castro said, Wildin' Out Wednesday tomorrow. Yes, sir. Super excited about it. Anybody else want to say anything? I'll post up before we get out of here. Y'all have any other final sayings? Let me know. Because this is... Okay, sorry. I had to get that on my chest. Because this is a Miami Sports Music Podcast Network production. This is the #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you all tomorrow right here on the best and #1 show in the world, Clock Blockers. It's gonna be a lot of fun. You know how much fun it's gonna be? It's gonna be a lot of fun. Fins up, Stephen D, SKPL. Fins up. I expect to see y'all tomorrow. I expect to see some Wildin' Out on Wildin' Out Wednesday. I'm not playing with y'all. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I just better see.
Do you want to go to war, Malaki? No. Because we could go to war.
That's what I want to hear.
I'm for real.
I'm for real.
I'm for real.
I'm for real.
So you better check yourself. Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Are you out of your mind?
Go ahead.
Make my day.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
You're telling me there's a chance. Ooh, almost played the wrong song.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Insanely.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Everyone.
I award you no points.
I award you no points.
And may God have mercy on your soul.
This is the #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.